Good morning, I'm Nate Puterball with your sports update. The Columbus Blue Jackets' backs are against the wall as they head into the last 6 games of the regular season. They're at home tonight to take on the Winnipeg Jets, having lost 5 straight. They currently sit in a 4-way tie for the final wild card spot. Puck drops at 7 with extended fan coverage beginning at 6. The Cincinnati Reds were in Texas yesterday to take on the Rangers and picked up their first road win of the season on the back of a tie-breaking 2-run home run from Tyler Stevenson in the 9th. They square off again tonight at 7:05 with Rhett Lauder on the mound for the Reds to take on Kumar Rocker. The Guardians picked up a win last night against the Cubs 4-1. Rookie Chase DeLauer had 3 hits, including a 2-run home run in the 7th to break the game open. They return to Progressive Field tonight at 7:15 with Slade Ciccone facing the Cubs' Shota Manga. And Columbus Crew SC return to action tonight. They're in Atlanta to take on the United at 7:30. Breaking sports news weapons to the Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
The Fan is live and local with Fan Sports Saturday. The Fan Sports Day of the Week. Oh, this is some clever branding. Here's your host. Place name here.
All right, place name here. The name is Tito, but that's not the star of the show.
Who let him in here?
I'm telling you right now, he's taking a break from TV. Jacob Reimer slumming it in radio, the lesser of the two medias.
You're telling me this doesn't make me 97.1's Jacob
No,
Reimer?
you're 10 TV's Jacob Reimer.
Oh, okay.
Jacob Reimer here for 3 full hours. Nate back there running things. Jacob, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's a Final Four Saturday, which it can't be better than that. But, of course, the first thing I see when I open up Twitter is 10 years ago today, the greatest ending to the NCAA tournament title game, and it's Chris Jenkins hitting the shot against North Carolina. So that slightly ruined my start a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let anything knock this vibe. I listened to Unwritten coming into today.
Okay.
Coming into work today, was just trying to get all the good vibes, the good juice, heading into what's going to be an awesome Saturday.
Yeah, sometimes, big show lineup for you today, by the way, lots of college basketball, because Reimer's here. So, yeah, it might just be all college basketball talk. But lots to talk about otherwise, stuff going on in the NBA, stuff going on in college football. The women's, I think the most, I don't know if it's more impressive what South Carolina did to UConn or what Gino said after the game. But anyway, there was a little dust up there, if you will, on the court after the game. Dust up's a strong word there. But I'm also, I don't know how happy I am with my kid right now.
Oh, why?
Okay, Artie's 9. I talk about it on the air all the time. Like, to the point where some of the things he does, I've told you this, it warrants a DNA test. So he's in a basketball tournament last night, and so he's already on cloud 9. They went 1-1, but the second game they lost, they were down by like 12 points in this game, which is a lot in third grade basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They come back. He hits a 3 with 10 seconds left from about 3 feet behind the line to tie it.
Oh, my.
And then they end up losing 28-25, but he scored, I think, 18 of the 25. So he's like...
Goodness gracious.
I know. So he has that going, and I checked the standings for the brackets today, and he's in the top 1.8% on the men's brackets. I'm ranked 10,500,000th.
He's a hoop head.
He's lucky. Anyway, he had the Final Four right. He's got UConn beating Arizona in the championship, but he also had Illinois in the Final Four in Michigan.
That's crazy.
Much better than you are. And you know basketball.
Yeah, I like to think that I do, but I don't have that. Definitely not. I only have, actually, my main one, I only have one of the Final Four teams, and that's Arizona.
Okay. Yeah,
I could not send, I loved Iowa State, so I didn't want to send Michigan.
Yeah.
I did not think that anybody was going to be able to beat this Duke team. And so I could not get myself to not pick them, and I loved Houston the way they were trending. It just... I mean, it's not like the hardest Final Four that, like, I feel like this could have been a pretty common Final Four to have been picked. Mm-hmm. But still, for his age, that's really impressive to get all 4 Final Four.
This is like the 3rd year in a row that he's kicking my butt in this thing.
Oh, man.
And he doesn't, like, and now it's got to the point where, Daddy, I just want to, I'm not really head to head with you. I just want to be higher in the standings overall. Like, he's totally discounting me. Which is even more troublesome that my 9-year-old's got the stones to think that. But I can't say anything back to him. I called him before the show here, Nate, and I told him he's grounded. I'm going to withhold affection. He's got his basketball games today. Other than that, though, dark room. We're going Aaron Rodgers style the rest of the week.
You're not even going to let him watch the games tonight?
Are you kidding me? No. I don't want... What's going to happen is UConn's going to win, and then so is Arizona.
Yeah, does he want the joy of picking the finals, too?
I'm not...
So he's going against the Big Ten.
He's going after taking Illinois in the Final Four that we went with the Big Ten to even get there.
That's true. That's true.
This is therapy for me. By the way, Jacob Reimer, for those of you looking on YouTube, only 3 years older than my 9-year-old son, which is even more amazing that we've got the youngest Jacob Reimer here. But lots to talk about today. And on the women's side, Gino Auriemma and Dawn Staley had a dust-up, if you will, at the end of the game.
Yeah, where do you come down on that?
I think Gino's being petty.
Okay.
He was upset, I guess, to start things off because she wouldn't meet him at half court to shake hands. Made him wait 3 minutes before they eventually shook hands before the game, which I think is a stupid thing to be upset about. And then he got mad about the way she was working the officials in his opinion. Said that she called it. By the way, it's South Carolina USC for the title now. UCLA did win against Texas after trailing early, but he was upset the way he said she was saying things to the refs, and I'm paraphrasing here, that if I said them, I would expect to get tossed. Isn't that part of coaching?
Yeah.
You know, like you tell me Gino's never once tried to be that way with an official.
I mean, this is just another example of Gino getting exposed when he's facing equal talent.
Yeah,
as just a mediocre head coach.
Well, wasn't it last year they handled South Carolina in the Final Four national championship? I can't remember which one, but it is kind of a shame that like now this kind of holds a dark cloud over their season. They start 38-0. And this is how you're going to remember their season,
right?
Is this dust up from Geno Smith trying to make it about himself and have this little dust up with Don? Like it's a shame that that's how this is going to end for them.
I would tell you also though, if it was Geno Smith, it'd be a much better story.
I don't know why I said Geno Smith.
That's okay, no, but think about that. Geno Smith would have got it Dawn Staley's face, not even being part like the court do that'd be different. Anyway, but the women's basketball, and I will say this. Yes, Gino's being petty, but it might be good for the overall game that he did this.
Drawing more eyes a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. And look, South Carolina's a damn good team. They are every year. It's a good final matchup, South Carolina UCLA. I've watched UCLA play several times this year. They are damn good, damn deep, and damn tall.
I find it interesting for how tall they've been lately that like this is their first title appearance.
Isn't that amazing?
And just that, like not just lately, but just in their program's history that this is their first title appearance. With how UCLA has been in that brand. Mm-hmm. Like to this being their first title appearance, like that is crazy to me.
Yeah. John Gerber joins us at 9:30 this morning to talk about golf, the golf betting expert. It's a betting heavy show today also because Ya Highness joins us at 10:30 a.m. from Arizona. It's always fun when you have a Highness on in the morning because he's 3 hours behind us and we're never sure. We have to ask him if he's hadn't gone to bed yet or just waking up, one or the other. You never know. So get your bingo card out and take a look what it says on your card, and you can ask him that to start things off. Ya Highness in town on Monday night. Doing a little watch party, he and I are.
For the national championship?
Yes.
Ooh.
Over at Parlay Sports Kitchen and Sporting Club and Kitchens, downtown Columbus. Anyway, we're going to be out there for that. We'll talk more to him about that as well. Jackets host Winnipeg tonight at 7 o'clock. Jackets, ever since I said they are guaranteed to be in the playoffs, have literally sucked. They've lost 5 in a row. I think 6 of 7.
They were all the way up to second in the standings.
I know. And right now they are sitting there. They are tied for a wild card spot, for the final wild card spot, but because of the way the tiebreakers all work, they really aren't. Ottawa's got that spot, followed by the Red Wings and Jackets. They all have 88 points. By the way, so do the Flyers. They also have 88 points. The Islanders have 89 points. They're third in the Metro. Penguins at 92. So Jackets need to get a win tonight at home against a Winnipeg team that is battling out west still for a playoff spot. But so the Winnipeg comes in hoping for a win. And the Jackets need a win desperately.
Well, and it just hasn't looked great. Like the Carolina game, only getting 10 shots on goal. Yes. I learned that's the fewest since they started tracking
like
shot
59,
attempts.
60, 40, like what they had 2 by their forwards, I think is all it was.
Yeah,
that was the number, yes.
That's insane to me. Like especially the way they have been playing before this stretch.
Yeah.
Like how dominant they've been, how many wins they've been rolling off. Like, what is going on with this team? Like, you're needing to play your best hockey right now, and they're not.
They have played one good period in the last 5 games.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That Bruins game, yeah. And what's funny is that if this had been reverse, let's say they started off with this kind of a losing streak under bonus, but then started playing the way they played then now, it'd be a totally different vibe. Be like, oh, my God, this team's hot. They're fighting for the playoffs. And now it's like, Holy crap, don't choke this away.
Well, honestly, it's kind of like if it were flipped like that, it'd be like Ohio State basketball, like how they were kind of trending like on the bubble and everything.
Yep.
And then they got hot to get into the tournament. And like it is completely flipped. I even asked the question a few weeks ago if, like, I think when they were like confirmed in the playoffs, I don't know if it was as high as them being the second best team in the conference, but would Rick Bowness qualify for Coach of the Year?
Right. Yeah, like, he would have. Yeah.
I feel like that seriously could have been a conversation, and he would have been a finalist. I think he still probably could be a finalist, but it'd be tough to have an argument right now if they continue to lose this way and not make it in.
Reds beat the Rangers 5-3 yesterday. They play 7:05 tonight in Texas. Guards over the Cubs 4-1. They play again tonight 7:15 in Cleveland. That might conclude our baseball coverage for this show. And UFL Aviators, they fell to the Defenders 44-26 out at historic Crew Stadium. And the Cavs off today. They host the Pacers Sunday at 6. Defenders, Aviators, lots of superstars out there. Former Buckeye stars, I say it right. Cardale was out there. Bernie Kosar, I saw, was out there as well. But Aviators fall in that one 44-26. All right, coming up next. Tough injury news for an NBA team out west. And LeBron said something controversial. Ooh, how about that for a tease? That's next. Fan Sports Saturday right on the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
I'm Brian Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple, to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm the Innovation Ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Jerry, you know how we remind people not to be a sump pump grump this time of year?
I sure do. If people's sump pumps aren't pumpy, they sure can get grumpy.
And down in the dumpy.
But our $89 sump pump inspection can replace all that sump pump grumpiness with happiness.
Even if it doesn't rhyme.
Get Eco.
Our expert sump pump plumbers will make sure your sump pump is working to spec and ready to pump. We'll even do a camera inspection of your downspout drainage system to make sure there aren't any backups causing problems down the line.
And turn your sump pump grump into a flow-it-all, know-it-all.
Get Eco.
Jerry, I'm starting to think not everything we do has to rhyme.
But rhymes help people remember things they like, Aaron. I mean, you like hokey pokey, don't you?
I do like the hokey pokey.
Get Eco.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and sump pump technicians.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
The savings are so good at Great Lakes. But have you seen our inventory? With over 1,000 new Hyundais to choose from, there's no need to settle at glakeshyundai.com. Find a new Palisade with the exact options you need, or a new Tucson in that color you have been seeing around town. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with Hyundai Assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile coverage. At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings and selection are so good.
Statistics show that roughly 20 veterans die by suicide every day in the United States. Canines for Warriors is the leading nonprofit organization providing highly trained service dogs to veterans with PTSD and other invisible wounds of war. Backed by scientific research, Canines for Warriors has transformed the lives of more than 1,000 veterans, helping them reclaim their independence. To find out more, please visit caninesforwarriors.org.
All your favorite fan shows are on YouTube, along with those fake YouTube ads like Chew This Gum and It Grows New Teeth. Experience the splendor of Bo sitting in his closet, Timmy Hall's gouty gold chains, and Matty Ice wearing a coat in 90-degree weather. It's all there. Head to YouTube and subscribe today. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a partly cloudy sky for the afternoon. It'll be warm and breezy with highs right around records in the lower 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms develop later in the afternoon, especially during the evening hours. Some of those could be strong to severe, with gusty winds being the main hazard. Overnight, rain and storms end early, then mostly cloudy. Lows are back in the mid-40s. Much cooler for Sunday, more clouds and sunshine, a little brisk at times. Highs only reach the lower 50s. For The Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
We're your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah? The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Good luck getting us to shut up. Hell, we might go 4 hours today. We don't know. Bad news for the NBA, I think. Love or hate the Lakers, love or hate LeBron. It's good if he's relevant, and it usually is relevant, but the Lakers had been on such a hot streak lately in the NBA that they had climbed all the way up to number 3 in the standings in the West. They weren't going to catch San Antonio at 2 or Oklahoma City at 1. That was never going to happen. But the other night, Luka Donic gets hurt, has to leave the game, and is now, with a hamstring injury, has now been ruled out for the rest of the regular season and potentially for the playoffs. We're not sure yet. The Lakers have 5 games left. They play at Dallas tomorrow.
That's gettable.
Yep. Host Oklahoma City. At Golden State. Host Phoenix.
I think Steph's coming back.
Yeah, Steph's going to be back. So Dallas, Utah already eliminated. So those are very gettable games right there, the first and fifth one there. Golden State's already clinched the berth in the play-in. Phoenix is still trying to avoid the play-in if they can get some wins there. But right now the Lakers sit there in third place. They are a game ahead of Denver at 4, 2 games ahead of Houston at 5, 4 games ahead of Minnesota at 6. I don't see them falling that far. But the Lakers, though, could fall to 4 or 5. If they fall to 4, then they would play the Rockets in all likelihood, because the Rockets have a 2-game lead on the Timberwolves. If they fall to 5, then it would probably be the Rockets also, but it would be in Houston with the home court.
Yeah,
that's how
they'd
it
have
flips.
home court advantage.
But this is tough for the Lakers. I mean, it's like with how good they've been, how well they played. I mean, LeBron's got 5 games to turn back the clock and be the guy again for them to have a shot. But I hate this happen because the Lakers would draw eyeballs. They were never going to win it. They're not going to be Oklahoma City. They're not. I mean, San Antonio, maybe they could beat them in a playoff series. Denver, I don't feel confident about that. But it's tough for the Lakers to have a loss like Luka this late in the season.
Well, and he's been playing at an MVP level. Like he's going to most likely be a finalist for the MVP. I don't think he's going to get it. It sounds like probably Shea, or I think Wemby should get it. But yeah, this stinks because I mean, what Luka can do, it's It's like what LeBron did in his early years, where he can just carry a team. And like Luka's been that guy. He's been the star. He's been playing at this high level, and we know what hamstring injuries are like, and those are not easy to come back from. Like just like dealing with Jackson Smith and Jigbo when he was here at Ohio State, and him getting that hamstring injury, and it's like, okay, like is he going to come back? Is he not? And he ended up missing the entire year. So those are not easy injuries to come back from, especially like at a quick turnaround like this. And it's tough because the West is so loaded that like even though you are the 3 seed, you're slotted with Minnesota right now, who has beaten you in a playoff series. Right. Anthony Edwards is getting better. He's getting older. He's getting more experienced to where like he knows what an NBA playoff game is supposed to be like. And I mean, it would be okay, I think, if you fell down to the 4. The Rockets, like that could still be a gettable series, I think. But Houston is really big. I don't know what side I think you'd probably want to avoid the Thunder, but the way the Spurs have been playing, I don't know what I don't know what side you'd want to be on if you'd want to be the 3 or the 4.
I suffered a hamstring injury when I was 34 years old playing rec league basketball. I still have not fully recovered from that one yet. So yes, I know it's a serious deal. You mentioned Luka as an MVP finalist. Right now, he can't be.
You don't think so?
He's only, if he missed the rest of the regular season, 64 games only played.
That's
now,
right.
Here's the thing, though. I found this out. I read this yesterday, and I thought it had to be made up. I did not think this was a possibility. I felt like this was a made-up phrase. Here's what it says. Doncic plans to appeal for an extraordinary circumstances challenge. Where he can go to the NBA.
What the heck?
The policy allows players to appeal if they meet a series of factors that include, again, extraordinary circumstances, where it was impractical for him to play in one or more of the regular season games that he missed during such season. He's on 64. Luka has not had like a serious load management. In fact, he's played 64.
Yeah.
He did miss, I believe, December 4th and 5th. He went back to Slovenia to be there for the birth of his second daughter.
I mean, yeah.
So he missed 2 games for that. And now this hamstring thing was 64. According to the policy, the Lakers and Doncic can file for the exception starting on the final day of the regular season, have until the next day to formally submit it, and then a challenge expert, I don't know how you get that, chosen jointly by the NBA and NBPA rule in his favor, then it would allow him to be eligible for that. He would have reached 65 games had he not received a mandatory 1-game suspension following 16 technical. That was the game also, which he missed the Lakers against Washington. What I find interesting about this, the extraordinary circumstances thing. And then I remember seeing someone a couple weeks ago when this happened with, who did it happen with? It happened with somebody else who got hurt and was going to be ineligible now, but saying like, well, why can't they just come in and play one game for like 10 seconds and leave?
That's true. I
There's
mean,
a rule,
you
though.
see it all the time so that guys can get their incentives at the end of the year.
But there's a rule that if for it to count towards your 65th, to count towards a game played,
you have to play a certain amount of minutes.
15, if plays 20 minutes.
Oh, my.
Now, you can play between 15 and 20 twice, and they'll count it. So you can't just come in and wave to the crowd and then limp off the court.
do the jump ball.
Right, do the jump ball, then call it
travel.
quick foul, or whatever. Yeah, quick foul, quick timeout, whatever, and get him out of the game. You can't do that. So, but it seems like Luka, though, like the pro argument would be, well, you know what? It's not like he was sitting out games. The negative, I'd say, you know what? The hell with you. You got your 16th tech. If you don't get that 16th tech, you've got 65.
By my count, that still only puts him as 75. So he had 9 other games he could have played in.
He did. You're right. Yeah, well, there's not, but he wasn't like load management like some of these other guys are. He wasn't like that extreme of load management with that kind of thing. To where, yes, he could have, you're right, he could have played in some other games that way and did not. But still, it feels like he's the only Western Conference player to win the Player of the Month twice this season. He got it in January and March. Having a fantastic, I don't think he'd win the MVP anyway. Only one player, I believe, in full NBA seasons has ever played less than 65 games and won the Most Valuable Player title, Most Valuable Player award. Only one player in regular season, not counting the strike and COVID and crap like that.
Yeah.
In a full season, the only player ever did, Bill Walton, back in 1977. I think he played in 64 games.
Okay.
And won, but no one else has ever won MVP with that, which is why I'm mostly NBA. Like, don't put this rule in place and let the voters decide.
I have 2 questions.
Yep.
And one of them is pertaining to the number of missed games.
Right.
Why is his family living in Europe? that he has to travel back for the birth of. I understand being there for the birth, but like, why are they not in L.A.? I understand having a home in Europe.
Right.
That's where you're from, and like it could be a summer home.
Right.
And during the off season, but then like maybe you're only missing one game if you're home in L.A.
I don't know if he and the mother are married. I keep thinking they might not be married, but they've had a long relationship. I think they've had 2. I could be wrong on that one. But that's irresponsible speculation on my part. But I don't care. It's Fan Sports Saturday. No one's listening. But so yeah, I don't know if he was married to her or not. I could be wrong. I think it was his girlfriend.
My second question is, how does one become a challenge expert, and how much is that guy making?
Because I thought when I saw Challenge X, I thought, you know who would be great at this? 10 TV's Jacob Reimer.
Oh my gosh,
you'd be great at that job. I just see you sitting there, Luka's people, the NBA, and you're just sitting there with a grin on your face, like, guys, this is going to take a little while. Let's get lunch. Let's hang out a little bit. You know, maybe have you sign a couple things
to make a ruling.
Right, I got to think about this one.
And I'm a little biased towards Michael Jordan, so I could maybe pull some little strings there, pull some weight. I'm like, I mean, this guy would really help LeBron in getting another ring and adding to the GOAT case, but I don't know. I think I might want to help out MJ here a little bit.
Look, Reimer would rule against Jason Tatum.
I do have a bone to pick. Reimer, are you really one to criticize a guy for taking off days for the birth of the child?
No.
That's a fair point there.
That's true.
And your wife also lives in Europe, which is weird.
I took the required days that I had to take for the birth of my child, and she is great. My wife is awesome too. I just want to get that out there. So,
first couple things. One, you've got, by law, you have to say that. No one gets on there and says, you know what? Yeah, my wife gave birth, but not really much of a champ. She whined a lot. I did most of the work. I mean, she just sat there and cried and pushed. I was the one who was sweating. I was the one who had to help. No one ever says that. It's always the same thing. Like,
I was letting her break my hand, squeezing my hand.
See, and I've said this before in the air, that delivery rooms and airport security is where I'm at my comedic high point. If you go back and look at what I said on social media during the birth of any of my children, when I was saying that my daughter was born on Kentucky Derby Day, and I talked about how ironic it was that we were watching the fastest 3 minutes in sports. Just 9 months prior, we had the fastest 3 minutes in sports before that. And then also I said things like, one night there was a pay-per-view fight on. I was complaining because I couldn't get pay-per-view in the room and couldn't order a pizza. All those things. It's like, And also when nurse comments, hey, look, my wife, no drugs. Let's just go. And she's like, oh, shut up. I said, no, seriously. I'm going to make the decision here. I'm going to sign off on this. No drugs. Just go natural childbirth like they did back in the day.
And so she got the drugs, right?
Oh, she got the drugs, yes. But it was so much comedy there. Yeah. So much comedy.
Did you have material ready?
Oh, no. It was on the fly, which is great.
On the fly.
Like, if you ever opened up a Funny Bone comedy club in a hospital, like a maternity ward, I'd be a headliner. I would kill it. I would have killed it during that time. LeBron's controversial thing before we go to break here, because I got to do this now. But he said he might have pulled Eli Manning if Memphis had won the lottery and not gone there.
Oh.
He said, I'm effing 41 years of age. You think I want to do blank in Memphis on a random Thursday? I'm not the first guy in the NBA to ever talk about this. You guys got to move the team, go over to Nashville already.
I mean, hey, the Bass Pro Shop pyramid's there.
That's true. There you go.
What's wrong with that?
You're right.
Hey, Beale Street's a good time.
Hey, you know what? Also, if I'm not mistaken, Graceland. There's Elvis souvenir shops all up and down that street, right by Graceland. You could spend a year there.
That is absolutely true.
Coming up in 2 minutes, John Gerber, our golf betting expert, joins us. This is Fan Sports Saturday on the Fan.
Aviators football returns Friday, April 17th, 8 p.m. kickoff. The first 5,000 fans through the gates take home a free team flag. Grab your tickets now at uflaviators.com. United we fly.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10TV and The Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10TV and The Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/raisetheroof. 10tv.com/raisetheroof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
At St. Jude, every innovation we make is a moment we give to children with cancer everywhere. But we can't do it without you.
Learn more at stjude.org.
It's been a real journey since 2014 when I first had my injury. I realized that my home was just not working for me and that it was time to ask for help. Homes for Our Troops is really giving me my life back. The shower allows me to go in and turn around with my chair, pull down storage racks, automated door systems, hours of my morning given back to me. Adaptive sports are a huge part of my life, a huge part of my healing journey as well. Homes for Our Troops helped with making sure that I had a home gym so that I can continue to train. This past year, I was able to host Thanksgiving in my home. And it was the first time I was able to have my whole family in one place and I was able to contribute to the meal. There are a lot more veterans in need, and Homes for Our Troops is going to be there to help them too.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives. Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Fan Sports Saturday. Head off the Brian Heat Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. John Gerber joins us live from parts unknown. I think he's in Texas, where they have the Valero Texas Open going on right now. John, good morning. Let's get people the information first. How are you doing with your bets this week? And do you have any head-to-heads for Saturday to tell us about?
Good morning, JT. Yeah, I am down in Texas. I'm a little north of where they're playing San Antonio, but the weather still is a little rough down here through all of Texas. So, yeah, we're looking really solid on our overall bets today. We do have Bobby Mack in the top 10 there. But he is, hopefully, has an opportunity to win the tournament. But we have him in the top 10 on our card, and we do have both top 20s so far, Alex Noren and Eric Cole, that sit there right at the top 20 for our overall bets. But we do have a matchup today. We do like Eric Cole minus 110 over Christoph Rattan. Eric Cole has just been playing really solid. He made a couple mistakes yesterday on the par fives that I think he's going to clean up today and kind of continue to play well. It's a golf course like we talked about earlier in the week when we handicapped the tournament. It's you don't have to be a long hitter out there. The golf course is playing very firm, and Eric just got on the bad side of the draw with the win yesterday, so I think he's going to clean up some things and be ready to go today.
He is at Jay Gerber PGA Pro on Twitter, also a host of the most popular golf podcast in the state of Ohio, From the Rough on FanStream Sports. He hosts that with Tim Ham. IndyCar Tim hosts that with him. Gerb, what I love about you, and what I think our listeners love about you too, is the fact that, well, first of all, you're handsome and you're fetching, but also the fact that you are very transparent with your picks, and you make money every year in this, but you throughout the season you'll tell us, here's where I'm at so far, here's my units I'm up, or in some cases down, here's where I'm head. How are you faring so far this season?
Yeah, I mean, we want everybody to make money, just us. I mean, our system has continued to reap the benefits, but this year we're plus 1765. So if you're a $100 player, you're up $1,765. And however you the denomination of money that you put out there, be consistent with it. That's what we tell everybody. Play the system every single weekend. You'll be profitable. This year, we're 12-7-4 in our matchups. And like we said, 1765 profit for the year.
John, Jacob Reimer here. This upcoming week is probably my favorite, one of my favorites of the year, because the college basketball season comes to an end with the Final Four national championship, and then we go straight into the Masters. But this year, the Masters is not going to have Tiger or Phil for the first time in forever. Do you think that because of that, this week could be a little bit off because we don't have either of those guys there?
Yeah, first time you haven't had Phil or Tiger since '94. I think Tiger obviously is a bigger hit to the tournament than Phil is. I think Phil, with his kind of deflection going to live, people haven't really been following him, but Phil still really moves the needle a little bit. But it's, the Masters is its own deal. I mean, no matter who's playing, it's the Masters, and the golf course is always going to be the headline. So I don't feel like the viewership or anything is going to go down. I mean, Tiger was, in some people's minds was 50-50 anyways, and other people's minds, people don't care about Phil 50-50. So I don't think it's going to take away from the tournament at all. I think there's still a ton of storylines that's going to happen next week. I mean, it's a week away, and people are really starting to have some predictions already. So I'm looking forward to it also.
So, John, it's something that I never really considered until reconnecting with you and talking golf about a decade ago. But that walk at the Masters is not an easy walk. And so Tiger, if even walk that course, let alone play 2 rounds even, it would be quite the accomplishment. But this was all pre-accident. And I offered this question up on Morning Juice the other day. And I know there's no way in hell this would ever happen, okay? I know as I'm saying this, I know this, which I love to do, ask impossible questions. But if Tiger said to the Masters, said to the PGA, if you allow me a golf cart, I will play. Would they ever even consider it? Would they just say, no, pound sand? We're not going to let it. I mean, I know the Casey Martin thing was a big deal back when we were younger, but like if Tiger went to the PGA and said, look, I'd love to play in the Masters, but I can't play unless I get a golf cart, would they even consider it?
He would get the same answer as you would get. No way in hell.
Okay.
That's just. I mean, between you and Tiger, both you guys couldn't probably walk the golf course anyways, because I know you're not in the greatest shape in the world. So you couldn't get a golf cart either, just for a spectator. So no, they're not giving golf carts out there.
It's all about just the way you position your knees. You can go up these hills, but I've done that before, Gerb. Okay, the knees are the key.
The hills at Allen Creek State Park aren't the same as Augusta National. I promise you that.
Fair enough.
John, I know Scotty Scheffler, it's crazy to say that I'm going to say that he's been up and down this year. He still has a win, but he's had slow starts and then had a big chase to get back in it on Sunday. But he did just have his second child. Does a baby bump factor in, like, is this Masters already over because Scotty's going to win because he's got that?
That's a very good question. Scotty keeps everything pretty close to the chest. I reached out to Randy Smith last week and just kind of had a couple via text and say, question mark, what's going on with Scotty? He's getting a million of these questions. And Randy just said he's just cleaning up things. Now, he didn't say golf. He didn't say personal. He didn't say health-wise. He said he's cleaning up some things. But, look at Scotty Scheffler. He's certainly going to be a factor next week. And his personal life, it's happened. I don't think how he works his personal life is like some of the others. I think it kind of hurt Jordan Spieth a little bit as he, built his family. But I don't think it kind of affects Scotty Scheffler the same way, because Scotty's a little bit more dominant on a golf course than Jordan Spieth could be, just because of some of his driving prowess. So yeah, I don't think it's going to bother him too much. I look forward to seeing Scotty next week at the Masters. We won't bet him because we never can win any money on him, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he actually does after this few-week break.
Gerb, when you're looking at the field, and as I know you're constantly, I know you're looking ahead when you're evaluating which players you're going to have on your card, which ones interest you. Is there somebody who, like, maybe in January, you thought this guy would have a chance at the Masters, but the way he's played since then, now he does? Or the other way, you thought this guy really, and we can't obviously, not that we talk about Tiger or Phil, but there's somebody you looked at and said, you know what, this guy I think could really be a factor at the Masters, to where what's happened in the last few months, you might feel differently.
Well, a little bit of both. It's almost like a roller coaster. I'll tell you a guy I'm really high on right now, and if you can get him, I got him at 40-1 right now, is Justin Thomas. I mean, if you look at a guy like that, can move the ball both ways. He's had some success. He just needed more reps just because of his injury. But if you look yourself down the board, a guy like Justin Thomas, when's the last time you've got him in a tournament at 40-1? So it's the best money-making odds for him that you've probably seen in a few years. He's getting healthier and healthier every single week, but I look for him to be on our card. I think he's got a real chance. I really do. I like how he put a couple rounds together, but then kind of faltered one round. He played okay in the Players' Championship. So I just think he needs reps. He played poorly at Bay Hill, but kind of came back, and he knows that golf course well, and he loves it. So maybe a guy like Justin Thomas. I'm still really high on Shane Lowry, even though he drowned himself in West Palm Beach, hitting a couple off the tube there coming into the last. But I still really like Shane Lowry. He plays well there all the time, and as creative as he is, just like Justin Thomas. Those two guys are going to be a factor next week, and they will be on our card. And you can get Lowry at 45-1 right now.
I'm looking at this week, Gerb, and Ludwig Oberg. He's a guy that's been trending as of late. He's second right now in San Antonio, was top 5 last week at the Players, had a big lead until he fell apart in the final round. He finished tied for third at Bay Hill. is there a guy like Ludwig or somebody else that hasn't won a major yet that is trending right now that can break through at Augusta next week?
Yeah, I think it's him. I mean, I don't think you can get past him when you look. You know, he fits the mold for that golf course, and he fits the mold for every golf course, really. I mean, if you watch him on the range, I was on the grounds a couple of weeks ago and just watching him hit golf balls, and it's just a little bit different than most of those guys. And the mystery is what happens in that fourth round. What mindset changes for him that he can't close the deal on big events. He can certainly put himself there. So that's a mental hurdle he's going to have to get over. And the Augusta fits him perfectly. He hits the ball high. His golf swing, it just doesn't look like it. You know, he can miss off the club face. So you can't go past him when it comes to that. But I think a guy like him, if he wins one, I think he's going to be like a Scotty Scheffler effect, that he's going to win more, getting that confidence. But he'll be on our card next week, maybe not to win just because you can't make money, and that's what we always talk about, value. He's going to be one of the favorites, but he's going to be exciting. We'll see how he plays this week. There's only a couple guys that's won the week before Augusta and won Augusta. So, you know, maybe he wants to hit one in the water going into the last hole if he's leading or something, so he doesn't go back to back or something. But, you know, he might do that involuntarily, so we'll see. But we'll see what he looks like this week if he has a chance to win, maybe carrying next week, or maybe it could be a positive or a negative effect.
I've done that a number of times on the golf course, Gerber. I didn't want to win, so I just would chunk a couple in the water on 17, 18, well, also 13 and 12 and 11. But
I know that's the guy that I get those golf ball bills all the time. I know that you need more golf balls. I know exactly how many golf balls you go through.
Speaking of that, yes, get ones that work better for me next time, Gerb. But I know that because of your professional obligations, you are no longer president of the Colin Morikawa fan club, but I know you're still a card-carrying member. Do you like him at the Masters next week?
I don't even know if he's going to play.
Okay.
At this point right now. I mean, I don't like him. I mean, you know, you can't go in taking a couple weeks off and come with some injuries. I mean, all joking aside, it doesn't fit the golf course very well. I know it seemingly looks like that, but if it plays soft, he can't play it. So he plays well there when it plays firm. Just because of the role, he can't get the distance of a lot of those guys, but he can't have a couple weeks off worrying about the injuries, coming in there cold. You have to bring your game, and you have to be ready at Augusta. It's gonna embarrass you like most golf courses in the world embarrass you, JT.
Thank you very much, Gerb. Thanks for the time. We look forward to having you on Wednesday on Morning Juice, 7 o'clock. You want to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it, fellas. All
right, that was John Gerber. They're at J. Gerber PGA Pro. All his picks are out there. He's completely transparent. We'll tell you when he wins, when he loses, what he's up units-wise for the year. And again, the From the Rough Golf podcast that he does on Fanstream Sports is the most popular golf podcast in the state of Ohio. Coming up next, something that happened in 1986 might be happening. And that's me going to our demographics right there. A lot of people want to know what this is going to be. That's next, Fan Sports Saturday.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications the top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Spring is just around the corner, and big savings are in full bloom at Menards. Visit Menards Garden Center for everything you need to get your garden growing. Choose from hundreds of beautiful, colorful flowers, lush trees and shrubs, and everything in between. Menards Garden Center is back in bloom. Stop in today to get your garden on. Check out fresh deals happening now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at mda.org today.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Get Eco.
ECO. When your drain is clogged, our drain team will clear it for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it will stay clear for at least a year, or we'll clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Go to geteco.com.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
Teachers need tons of help.
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
I take care of the kids, my dad, things at work, but I haven't made time to take care of what I need.
Millions of caregivers experience symptoms of anxiety and depression. Go to mentalhealthcareworks.org to learn how to get the support you deserve. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Join our resident gambling degenerates, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money. Sunday mornings at 9.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The Fan. The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by KDHVAC, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Thank you to John Gerber for joining us there on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. Always love talking to Gerb, especially when there's big tournaments coming up. We'll have him on Morning Juice on Wednesday at 7 a.m. to talk about the Masters, get his final picks in on that one. Also, folks, stick around because you're in for a treat. Ya Highness will be live on video at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We have found out how to make that happen here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Jacob Reimer, because no one pats you on the back enough, I guess. You don't get enough attention. Love Jacob.
The live video, courtesy of television's Jacob Reimer.
There we go. That's right. Yes.
I'm a utility guy.
I've never gotten official word yet if we're supposed to still say Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline for video. I don't know if we're supposed to or not. I haven't looked at the contract with them. I've never seen the contract with them. I'm not sure if when the contract was drawn up, though, video was included. I guess I'll do it anyway, just to be safe. But I don't know if that's... They may be getting freebies from us on that one.
Yeah. I think that's okay.
That's fine. So and we don't have a lot of time for this segment, but I want to get into it, though, because in 1986, October 29th, Michael Jordan, when Jacob's parents were born, Michael Jordan got hurt for the Bulls. They first saw it was a mild ankle injury, and then turns out it was worse. It was a broken foot, and he was told to use crutches, but he didn't want to do it, all this stuff. He had a broken bone in his left foot, and they said he would be out months. So Jordan, this is his second season.
I remember this from the doc.
There you go. He decided to go back to North Carolina to rehab. Bulls wanted to stay in Chicago. He said, nope, I'm going back there. I can rehab better when I get there. I'm going to do it out there. The Bulls were like, just sit out the rest of the season. We suck. Don't come back and play. We'll get a higher lottery pick. Brad Daugherty, a former North Carolina Tar Heel, was in the draft that year as well. He was like the one who was going to be the pick. But the Bulls were like, look, we are not going to be any good. We're not going to win a title. Don't come back. Get ready for next season. Jordan said, no way in hell. He went there and was doing things that playing pickup basketball, which the Bulls were like, don't do that. He did it anyway. The doctors told him that if he came back and played at the end of the regular season, there was a 10 to 20% chance of a re-injury, and it could be career-ending. And they compared it to what happened with Grant Hill when he came back too soon and got hurt again. So Jordan ends up saying, the hell with that, I'm Michael Jordan, I'm doing this. Comes back on March 15th, had 12 points and 13 rebounds, and the Bulls were playing him off the bench in limited minutes. They weren't letting him go all out. Finally, Jordan got ticked off about it.
Didn't the GM or the owner say if he plays a second over that minute mark, then the coach was fired?
Yes. Yep. And Jordan complained about, I think it was Stan Albeck, maybe the head coach back then. I don't think it was Doug Collins. Maybe Collins or Albeck, one or the other.
It might have been Collins.
Might have been Collins then. Anyway, so he comes back and gives us a couple of the greatest playoff moments in NBA history. That series against Celtics, where he scored 63 in the one game. And like, it was amazing. He did that. They still got swept in 3 games. Back then, they called them mini-series. It was a best of 5 then. It used to be a best of 3, even the first 3 before that, which is stupid. Anyway, best of 5. They get swept, lose to the one of the greatest basketball teams of all time, the Boston Celtics, that ended up going on to win the championship that year. So anyway, the point was the Bulls were like, hey, don't do this. We want a high lottery pick. Something like that is kind of going on with Giannis out in Milwaukee. Giannis wants to play. The team is saying, we don't want you to play. Now the NBA is getting involved on this. ESPN's Shams over at ESPN said the NBA is investigating the Bucks for their handling of player participating policy and potential inconsistent statements regarding Giannis's health. The Bucks don't want him to play. Milwaukee's out of the playoff race. They're in 11th place. They're 30-46, I believe, is where they're at right now.
30-47.
30-47, another loss. There you go. But he said, I want to play. I'm available to play, but I'm not in the game. It's one of the things he said. I'm available to play today. Right now, available. Do I look like I'm not available? I don't see myself in the first 12. I don't see myself in the starting lineup. I don't know what game is being played right here. I just don't want to be a part of it. Furthering the rift between the two. I understand why the Bucks would say don't play.
Yeah.
Because the way the lottery is all structured.
And this draft class is maybe the best all time. I think it's gonna be better than the LeBron year. It's gonna be it's one of the best there is all time because like the first 10 picks could be freshmen and they are all studs.
Yeah.
And you even got Yaxel Lindenborg at Michigan. You've got LeBaron Philon at Alabama. Like there are a lot of dudes that you could, if you're even outside the top 10,
right,
you could find a diamond in the rough and still get somebody for the Bucks. And I do. It's different though because Jordan was in his early years. Giannis he's a vet now, I'd say, and like of course he wants to he wants to play, he wants to win now. And honestly, like for how bad it's been with Milwaukee, like he just wants out. I think
so too.
Yeah. So like maybe he's trying to put tape out there for somebody to be like, hey, like it's still Giannis. Like Let's maybe pull the trigger on him and build a super team with Giannis and get him out of Milwaukee. But like at the same time, for Milwaukee's stance, I understand it. Like you're going to get somebody good in the draft if you have a top 10 pick.
Yeah. The 86 draft, by the way, that the Bulls wanted Jordan to sit out of, one of the worst drafts of all time. Daugherty went number 1. Great. All-star, right? Played at least one All-Star game. After that, you had Len Bias. Didn't quite work out for the Celtics. Chris Washburn, 3rd. Drug problem, kicked out of the league. Chuck Person, played the same kind of position as Jordan would play, and so it wouldn't have worked out. Kenny Walker, Sky Walker, Kentucky, went 5th, underachieved. William Bedford went 6th, drugs, kicked out of the league. Roy Tarpley went 7th, alcohol and drugs, also got a lifetime ban at one point.
Oh, my gosh.
8th was Ron Harper, also similar Jordan position.
Yeah.
The Bulls had 9. They picked Brad Sellers from Ohio State, who was a 7-footer who never really did anything in the NBA because he did win a title with the Bulls. And then you had Johnny Dawkins from Duke, John Sally. But, like, there was not – you're going lower than that now. But those first 9 picks, though, before the Bulls picked, Harper was a hit, I would say. Person had a good career. Doherty obviously had a really good career. But the other ones, though, nothing. And so but it's different this year with this, like you said, one of the best, if not the best draft classes the NBA's ever had, as far as in recent memory, I should say.
Right now on Yahoo, which I don't know if you saw me kind of shake my head in shock. I'm scrolling through this to see where the Bucks are, but they had Darren Peterson selected to go 5th to the Jazz.
Okay.
And if Darren Peterson is falling to 5, that is ridiculous.
Yes.
But the Bucks are projected on Yahoo right now to draft Michael Brown Jr., a freshman guard from Louisville.
Right.
And they need good point guard play.
They do.
You need something that can complement Giannis a little bit. The question you can ask yourself if you're the Bucks is his Scottie Pippen in this draft.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to find somebody that can get them back to the mountaintop, back to contending and winning titles? I mean, it will take a few years for Michael. He's still got some muscle, I think, to add to himself, but he is an electric shot maker. He can fly. He is a really fun point guard that you can mix in there with Giannis. I think that'd be pretty nice.
When you look at, you mentioned, Utah at 5.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the player to get, Darren Peterson, potentially. I wonder if Utah is at 5. And I don't know the cap rules on this, but could the Bucks attempt to trade Giannis there and get that pick among the package? Because I think the Jazz would go for it.
Oh, my gosh, they'd be the tallest team in the history of the NBA.
But if they could pull that off, though, and still out of their 11, 12, where they're going to be, but then also they'll get, if they got Peterson in there, I think that'd be interesting.
I don't think he's falling that far.
I don't think he's either.
Because the way they're projecting right now, the Wizards are at 1, taking Debanza, and then they have Boozer going 2nd to the Pacers, which I think a better fit for the Pacers would be Peterson.
Me too.
They just went to the finals last year. They've got almost the same entire roster. You get Tyrese Halliburton back. You can put a guy that can score like Darren Peterson next to him. That'd be electric. But they got Darius Acuff going 3rd to Brooklyn, and then my guy Caleb Wilson going to the Kings. I don't want that.
I know you don't want that. It's where they go to die. Coming up next, we know who's playing for women's title in about 14 hours. We know who's playing for it on the men's side. When we come back, I'm going to pull Reimer's string and get the hell out of the way and talk college hoops. That's next. Fan Sports Saturday.
The radio couldn't contain us, so we've taken over YouTube. Catch Morning Juice weekday mornings at 6 by searching 971 The Fan. Do it.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
As the seasons change, it's time to prep your HVAC system with a $49 seasonal tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. A seasonal tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and help prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. It all adds up to dependable service from neighbors you trust. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Nate Puterball with your sports update. The Columbus Blue Jackets' backs are against the wall as they head into the last 6 games of the regular season. They're at home tonight to take on the Winnipeg Jets, having lost 5 straight. They're currently sitting in a 4-way tie for the final wild card spot. Puck drops at 7 with extended fan coverage beginning at 6. The Cincinnati Reds were in Texas yesterday to take on the Rangers and picked up their first road win of the season on the back of a tie-breaking 2-run home run from Tyler Stevenson in the 9th. They square off again tonight at 7:05 with Rhett Lauder on the mound for the Reds to take on Kumar Rocker. The Guardians picked up a win last night against the Cubs 4-1. Ricky Chase DeLauer had 3 hits, including a 2-run home run in the 7th to break the game open. They return to Progressive Field tonight at 7:15 with Slade Ciccone facing the Cubs' Shota Manga. And Columbus Crew SC return to action tonight. They're in Atlanta to take on the United at 7:30. Breaking sports news weapons to the fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Fan Sports Saturday, second hour of the program. 10 TV's Jacob Reimer joining me today. YouTube sensation Jacob Reimer. We have Ya Highness coming up at 10:30 live on video. Always a treat. And he will be in town Monday. We'll go out to Parlay, the Parlay Sports Club and Kitchen to watch Parlay. I'll put it this way, and I'll tell him this too when we're on the air. I am not staying for the entire game. I have morning juice the next morning.
Oh, you bum.
Don't. The game.
He's coming from Arizona, and you're just abandoning him?
Wow.
I will go until tip-off, probably.
I understand leaving if it's a blowout, but
here's the other thing too, Ryan. Okay, yes, he's flying from Arizona. So time change and all that crap right already. Tuesday morning, I'm on morning juice. I have to get up very early to come in and do that show. He's going to be live in studio with us Tuesday for a segment. So he's going to stay the entire game and still come into a segment. I know. I will not be.
I was going to say, I stay up until like 1 in the morning watching college basketball games, and I still come on your guys' show at 6:30.
Hey, listen, and this is where I use the old guy card.
It's because we sleep in May. Tito.
That's what it is. You sleep in May. I don't sleep ever.
To him, he's coming in studio at 4 a.m. What's the issue?
I know. It goes live on, like, we do like a 7:35 a.m. and 4:35 out there in Zona. He's on religiously. He is, by the way, I missed one show, started one show this year. It says Morning Juice started May 12th, I think, of last year.
Yes.
I have missed one show because my alarm didn't miss. I came in late because my alarm didn't go off. I got in like 6:30 or something.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Not a Ripken streak for me. Ya Highness in Arizona, with the lifestyle he leads, has never missed an appearance. His weekly thing was ever. He is more Ripken than I am. All right. College basketball. I know that you said your bracket does not was not reflective of what's playing today in the Final Four. We've got it's really one of the best nights. One of the best days in sports. You get Illinois, UConn playing at 6:09 p.m., followed by Michigan, Arizona after that one. And I guess now we've got 4 teams left. You can't go worse than 0-2. What are your picks for these games, and what are the keys to these games for you?
These are both coin flip games, I think. They are two very even teams. I mean, I think the spreads are indicating of that. Like, they are expecting to be very close games. I'll start with Illinois and UConn. They played early in November, but you can go back and watch that tape all you want. They are two completely different teams from when they played in November. Terrace Reed, UConn center, he played 15 minutes in that game, had 2 points, and now in the NCAA tournament, he's averaging 21 points and 13.5 rebounds. He's been dominant. Illinois, Keaton Wagler, their stud freshman, he had 3 points in 14 minutes in that game, and he's been their leading scorer this year. He's been what has turned the tide for them to become one of the best teams in college basketball, and he had 25 in their Elite Eight game against Iowa, and he's those two guys have been key reasons why they are in this position. By the way, can we briefly talk about the Berlin Mullins shot?
Sure.
I mean, like, that was cinema. That was one of the greatest. I think it jumps Leitner.
Okay, I've heard that too. I've heard that debate about greatest buzzer beaters.
If they win the title, it definitely does.
So, okay,
given all the circumstances,
here's the only way I push back a little bit on that. I think that the Leitner shot happens because of a fantastically thrown perfect pass by Grant Hill.
Yes.
And Leitner making the shot. When I think of the Duke Connecticut game, I look at it as more of a breakdown by Duke.
Yes.
And that's the only point takes a little away from, like, now granted, Kentucky should have a guy on the inbounds ball on Grant Hill. They didn't do it.
Yes.
That's massive mistake on that one. But I look at it, though, and I just think I feel like Duke and Leitner and Grant Hill really won that game. And I think that Duke against UConn kind of gave it away.
Well, yes, they did. But I think given how great this Duke team is, it's like analytically, it's like it was the third best team ever.
Right.
They were the number 1 overall seed, had a 19-point lead, and UConn was going into it. They were 4 of 22 from 3.
Right. Yeah.
And they had a miracle shot. They needed everything to go perfect. If Duke is trying to break the press in the middle of a game, that's how you do it. They did it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
They moved it around perfectly. And then it was just the freshman mistake from Caden Boozer that he panicked, put the ball on the floor, and tried to pass it ahead.
Doesn't this go back to, when I look at it now with the youth on a team like Duke?
Yeah.
They are, and not that every team does have youth, or freshman kids the one who made the shot for UConn, but every team, though,
he doesn't play like a freshman, though. It's weird.
Right.
It's weird with UConn and their freshmen. They play a lot more mature than what they are.
In the last 4 years now, you've got round of 32, Elite Eight, Final Four, Elite Eight for Duke. They've had the best team sometimes.
Back-to-back players of the year.
Is it? Look, Shire's done a great job there. He's 119 and 25 there, I think now, right?
Can I do the Jay Williams question and ask if we remove the logo, are we really talking about them as a blue blood?
That's a great question, man.
Haven't been to a title game since 2015.
Yeah, you're right, and
I think the same thing can be said. The same thing can be said for Duke, Kentucky, and Kansas more than North Carolina. They've been to that last weekend a lot more than those three these last few years. Kentucky hasn't been to the Final Four since 15. Kansas, even as preseason favorites, hasn't been to the Sweet 16 in the last 4 years since they won the title.
Is it coaching or an experience? Is it like with Duke, I look at it like they've got these young kids coming through, and so they're relying on guys that are the freshmen to make the right plays in these situations. I don't know if the Boozer boys have ever had a game of that kind of importance. You figure in high school, they'd probably dominate. I don't know what the scores were. I bet they were great, though, in high school as far as not a lot of games like this where you're playing for a championship or a Final Four kind of berth. So they haven't had maybe games like this before.
I think it 100% is that. Like last year, you had the collapse against a very experienced Houston team.
Yeah.
And now this year, a fairly experienced UConn team. And I'll spin that into my keys for these games because UConn has that championship DNA. Mm-hmm. They've been there. They're going for their third title in 4 years. Like, there is so much at stake in this Final Four that we're talking about the Big Ten potentially ending their drought. First since 2000, Michigan State.
Right.
Arizona ending the drought of a team west of Texas winning a national championship, but since it was them in 97. And then here's Dan Hurley and UConn trying to crash the party for their third title in 4 years. Some kind of history is going to happen this weekend in Indianapolis.
UConn's trying to do something no one's done except UCLA.
Since John Wooden.
Yeah, since the Wooden days.
Yes.
No one's done that. 3 titles in 4 years.
And especially in this era of college basketball.
Right.
You can make the case it'd be more impressive than any of those.
It's amazing. And how close it came. Like I say, Duke, 19-point lead.
Yeah.
With the ball, with the lead by 2, 10 seconds left, just draw the foul, right? Just hold on to it, get fouled. Or just throw it over your head.
And I think
the court.
that's where they don't have that lead point guard. Like if Shire in 2010, they're drawing up a play for him to get the ball, and he's going to make the free throws.
Yep.
Duke didn't have anybody. Isaiah Evans was their best free throw shooter, and he's on the other end of the floor.
Yeah, right. Coaching? It's coaching. It's coaching. And I think Shire's been great. Better winning percentage than Coach K had.
Yeah.
A better winning percentage overall than Coach K had. And think about that.
They're not going anywhere like this.
No, yeah, it's
my question about them removing the logo. Are they a blue blood? That was a joke. The other two, I'm kind of serious on, but.
All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the Michigan-Arizona game. We'll do that in the next segment. And also, and this is going to be fun, I feel bad. We've got this is my tease. We've got a once proud program in search of a new coach. If one guy already took himself out of consideration. We'll do all that next. Fan Sports Saturday.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
With Aetna, I always get a quick answer, and I don't have to search on the internet. They go above and beyond to help me with whatever I need.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctor's offices when requested. We show up with access to convenient care options. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Your mornings are jam-packed. So if you're going to add anything, make it your favorite bite from Tim Hortons. Buy any size beverage and add a daily baked donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. It's the best way to add more to your morning. The 1-2-3 menu, only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra. Exclusions and terms apply at timhortons.com/offer-terms.
Spring cleaning isn't just for your house, it's for your life. If your job is getting old, it's time to clear the clutter and spring into IT. Go to My Computer Career.
My Computer Career helped me get the skills and certifications I needed to start a new life as an IT professional in months, not years.
Earn the certifications that top employers are looking for right now. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation to see if it's time to spring into IT. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Recalculating route. Estimated arrival time. Never.
For people with nasal congestion, snoring, or sleep apnea, finding a solution feels like a never-ending road trip.
First stop, my primary doctor. Then the pharmacy. Then a sleep specialist. Then an ENT.
What if there was just one destination for all your problems?
Welcome to Advent, your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care in one location. Over 95% of patients with severe nasal breathing issues report improvement. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
You have arrived at Clear Breathing.
Hey
there, friends. It's Bill Bishop here. You've heard me talk about High Bank's award-winning spirits, but let's talk about the food. High Bank delivers incredible meals and handcrafted cocktails in a space that works for every part of your week. Start with happy hour, drinks with friends, come back for brunch worth planning your weekend around, then stay for dinner. And get this, kids eat half off every Monday. Great food, award-winning drinks, a reason to come back time and time again. Make a reservation today at a location near you at highbankco.com. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
You're not done. What do you mean? Until you mulch, you're not done.
Very good point. Your landscape isn't finished until you mulch, and Oakland Nursery has mulch on sale. 2 cubic foot bags of Forever Black hardwood mulch, regularly $4.79 a bag, now just $4 for $10 through April 12th. Quality hardwood Forever Black mulch, usually $4.79 for a 2 cubic foot bag, now $4 for $10. Limit 52 bags per customer per visit. Sale ends April 12th.
Now you're done.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
The savings are so good at Great Lakes. But have you seen our inventory? With over 1,000 new Hyundais to choose from, there's no need to settle at glakeshyundai.com. Find a new Palisade with the exact options you need, or a new Tucson in that color you have been seeing around town. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with Hyundai Assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile coverage. At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings and selection are so good.
Recently, our company softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Dale's a loser. I play to win, like early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
The Jackets are back at Nationwide for a battle with the Jets. Live fan coverage starts Saturday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a partly cloudy sky for the afternoon. It'll be warm and breezy with highs right around records in the lower 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms develop later in the afternoon, especially during the evening hours. Some of those could be strong to severe, with gusty winds being the main hazard. Overnight, rain and storms end early, then mostly cloudy. Lows are back in the mid-40s. Much cooler for Sunday, more clouds and sunshine, a little brisk at times. Highs only reach the lower 50s. For The Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Live, local, and still slightly drunk.
I'm not drunk, all right? I just have a speech impediment.
This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Fan Sports Saturday. All right, Reimer. I'm going to give you the floor now for a few minutes to talk about Michigan, Arizona. And then we'll talk about that once proud program I was talking about in search of a new coach. Michigan, okay, did you make a pick, Illinois, UConn? Are you going to make, are you a pick guy? Can you make a pick?
I can make a pick. Do you want me to save it for later in the show? Or do you want me
Sure,
to?
let's get that. You know what, that right there is why you ascended to TV already, because you know how to do that. You work it. I'm the new guy here. You are media savvy. Yes, later in the show, you talk about a damn tease. That's how you do this, Nate. You want to be here someday, Nate? Telling you right now, this guy right here is laying the blueprint out for you.
Well, we will. I can give a little bit more because we went off on the Braylon Mullins shot.
You did.
So Illinois and UConn. Illinois is the best offense in college basketball this year. They're number one in offensive efficiency on KenPom.
Mm-hmm.
They are the biggest team in college basketball as well. And if you see a trend with all these teams here that are left standing, they are all really big. And I think that plays a factor into it. UConn, they are great defensively. They turn you over. They're aggressive on ball screens, which Illinois runs a lot of ball screens with Keaton Wagler and Kylan Boswell. But the thing with Illinois defensively, they don't turn you over a lot. They are 365th of 365 teams in turnovers forced per games.
Okay.
So that's just going to allow UConn to play their slow tempo, run set after set. You're watching Dan Hurley's mind on the court with how many sets they run in a game.
Okay.
So it's all. I think it's going to come down to offense. I think UConn has the shot making where they're not going to go 5 for 23 again.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind. But if you are looking at this potentially being an offensive game Also, keep in mind, Illinois is the best offense in college basketball right now.
Right.
So, Arizona and Michigan, this is the clash of the Titans. It's the heavyweight fight of all heavyweight fights. These are 1 and 2 on KenPom. They are analytically 2 of the top 4 teams ever on KenPom's history. Like, we rarely see a game of this magnitude from KenPom sites. Like, this is going to be a phenomenal game. They are evenly matched on the inside. They have monsters in the paint. They want to get second chance opportunities. They want to dominate the boards, get great looks in the paint. So for me, for this, it's going to come down to guard play. And Arizona, I think, has the edge in that, even though I love Elliot Cadeau, former Carolina guy. Jaden Bradley has been the closer in college basketball all season long. He's been the Mariano Rivera of college basketball. Since November 3rd, he took over against Florida for Arizona's opening win against the defending champs, and he's been making big shot after big shot. Freshman point guard Braden Burries is right there with him. He complements him extremely well. So Michigan, what kind of Elliot Cadeau are you going to get? He's got 33 assists to 7 turnovers in their 4 games in the NCAA tournament. If he is doing that, playmaking at a high level, assisting at a high level, getting it to their shooters and their weapons, then they're already tough to beat. We know that. That just makes them even tougher to beat if he's creating at that high of a level.
Speaking of Arizona, Tommy Lloyd was dodging the question for the last week or so.
Yeah,
when asked about it. Hubert Davis out in North Carolina, obviously, but Lloyd was asked about it, and he kept saying, focused on this, never said no. But now, though, he did say no because he agreed to a new deal with Arizona. It was announced yesterday. And it will make him, I believe, one of the 5 highest paid coaches in college basketball.
Yep.
He will be, it's like a 5-year deal, averages $7.5 million.
It's through 2031, I think.
2031, okay. So averages about $7.5 million. And there's also more money for his assistants. And this is the part I thought was interesting, that he no longer will report to the AD.
Yeah.
Straight to the president.
That's the kicker right there.
Which is, am I reading too much into that to mean that he and the AD, because I know they had some disputes, some talk about how much money to spend on certain things and whatnot. There was not always, I don't think they were in lockstep together.
No.
In some decisions. So it feels like it's the president's telling the AD, hey, you're not as important as this guy. This guy, I'm more about this guy being happy than you being happy, even though I'm cutting you off the legs a little bit here.
It was reported that he was offered from Carolina a top 2 job in the sport, top 2 contract.
Okay.
He turned down that at North Carolina, a proud program, a blue blood of the sport. Once proud. Okay. Yeah. And to take less money, but that's the biggest thing, is he does not have to report to the athletic director, who he did not have a good relationship with to begin with. They are literally giving him everything that he wanted to stay out west. And I think, if we had this 15 years ago, 15 years ago, this would be a yes, I'm going to Carolina.
Sure.
That is, I think, what is with the changing landscape of college athletics is with donors and NIL, you can give Tommy Lloyd as much money as he wants to go and build the roster that they are looking for. And you saw it with Kentucky a few years ago, where they were swinging after the big names and couldn't get anybody.
Yeah.
They ended up with Mark Pope. He's had his ups and downs in the first 2 years.
Right.
But it wasn't because they were interested in Scott Drew at Baylor at the time, trying to of course they asked Brad Stevens, Billy Donovan.
Of course, yes, right.
Kentucky is also in that conversation of one of the top jobs in the sport. There's no doubt about that. And same thing, if it's 15 years ago, you're probably taking that.
It has changed so much from, and I'm not naive enough to think that players everywhere did get some kind of under-the-table pay if you were really good.
Yeah.
Okay, it happened. It happened at Ohio State. Look, Ohio State, I think Damon Flint, a long time ago, got a bag of cash at a Damon's in a McDonald's bag or something. And then Ohio State got in trouble. He went to Cincinnati instead. But it happens everywhere. It does. But the money was such that it's not nearly what it is now. And you could, if you're North Carolina, if you're Kentucky, if you're Duke, if you're Kansas, you could get the player to come to you based on, we'll get you in the NBA and look at our history. Yeah. And no longer, like those things right there, the NBA is still important.
Yeah.
Cash is the most important, I think. The history, not as much. No. Because if I'm that good, if I'm Darren Peterson, if I'm Boozer, I'm never going to be etched into legacy because I'm not going to stay 4 years like Danny Manning or Leitner did.
Exactly.
I'm not going to do that.
Or Hansbrough.
Yes. So it's not the same thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, well, being North Carolina doesn't mean what it used to mean.
Yes. And I think that's why, like, some of the other names that are now being thrown into this, Grant McCaslin at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
We've seen with their football program and the leap they've taken with the oil money that they have now.
Yeah.
Does he want to leave that when he's got unlimited resources at Texas Tech to a job where there's going to be a lot more pressure? There's still pressure at Texas Tech because of the great teams that you've had. You've been to an Elite Eight. If JT Toppin doesn't get hurt, you maybe make another deep run.
Right.
Instead, you could go to Chapel Hill, where the expectation is Final Four national championships every single year. And if you're not doing that, like, look at Hubert Davis.
Yeah.
Honestly, I am now I'm to the point where I'm like, can we maybe rethink this thing? Because
bring back now. Yeah.
Because I understand why. Because outside of the 1 year they were a 1 seed, they were flirting with the bubble every single year. And that's not the standard of North Carolina basketball. Caleb Wilson injury doesn't happen. They're probably a second weekend team, and we're not even having this conversation.
Right.
Like, Hubert Davis still has his job. He has a 70% win percentage in his 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to think that in the 5 years, that's not getting it done.
Right.
And it's like Ohio State, we would love that here. They've been to a Final Four. They've been to a national championship game. They've been a 1 seed. He's been the coach of the year in the ACC.
Yeah.
And now he's out.
I don't think Dusty May comes to North Carolina. I'd be surprised by that.
I don't think so either.
Do you think that Billy Donovan considers it?
But here's the tricky thing. Rothstein was saying that he's not going to entertain a conversation with North Carolina until the bowl season is done.
Which is April 15th. Right? April 12th. That's their final game, yeah.
The transfer portal opens in 4 days.
Right.
Yeah. There's been no word outside of Caleb Wilson declaring for the NBA draft.
Right.
Who is going to be on North Carolina's roster if anybody is coming back, if anybody's going to the portal.
Sure.
They all weighs on the coaching decision. They have 2 5-stars coming in next year. None of they're all waiting to see who that coach is going to be.
Right.
But if you wait a week after the transfer portal's open, you're already putting yourself behind the 8 ball. And you have to work fast in this landscape of college athletics now. The transfer portal goes that quick.
Yeah.
You have to be able to. I think
musical chairs.
I think Billy Donovan will be great. I think that would be a great hire. He's still one of the best minds, a great X and O's. I don't think it's translated to the NBA that he thought it would. I think he would still be a top college coach. But with what college athletics is now, they're putting themselves in some trouble.
But you can. If you're Billy Donovan and want this job, you can announce right now, guys, look, I'm done with the Bulls. This is my last season with the Bulls. They need a new voice, a new direction.
Did you see their game last night?
No.
They were down 20-1. And it's almost like, is he maybe trying to get fired before the season ends so that he can entertain the conversation?
Just make the announcement. I'm not coming back.
But he wants to owe that to the Bulls.
I know.
But, I mean, you also can't be getting down 20-1.
You can't. No. I think
you're checked out at that point.
It's the team. You're already checked. That's why you make the argument. Look, hey, apparently my voice is not getting through.
Yeah. I just kind of like the idea that UNC is the college basketball version of Penn State right now.
Whoa.
You may be emotionally fired your head coach when you couldn't have. Instead of everyone running to take the job, you just got everyone else paid way more money.
That stings. You're right now. That was pretty good shots fired there from the safety of the glass.
Man, that hurt. I felt my heart drop right there that you just compared North Carolina basketball to Penn State.
Maybe James Frank can be the head coach.
No. Maybe for football.
Basketball, maybe. Coming up next, Ya Highness. Chad Patrick will join us. He'll offer his insights on how to bet the Final Four tonight. And we'll talk to you about what's going on Monday when he's here in Columbus. That's next. Fan Sports Saturday on the Fan.
Family owned and operated. It isn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Here's something you don't hear admitted very often. When you run a business with your family, you don't always get along with them. We argue, we debate, we have real conversations about the decisions that we make. But at CARE, every conversation comes back to our priorities, doing right by our employees and our customers. Because when you treat your team like family, they take better care of the families they serve. And when you treat your customers the way you want your own family treated, trust follows. That mindset doesn't always maximize short-term profits, but it builds something better, long-term relationships. Today, more and more local companies are being bought by venture capital firms, where maximizing profits often leads to a sales-first mentality. CARE is still family-owned and locally operated, so we can keep people, not profits, at the center of every decision. CARE Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love, with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Kroger same-day pickup and delivery, it's easy to shop the same great prices and quality you'd find in store. We'll bring your groceries right to you in our refrigerated trucks, so you can spend time on what matters most. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save $20 on your first Kroger pickup or delivery order of $75 or more. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
If you've recently seen a photo of an older Baker Mayfield fresh off a bender, it's just Bo Bishop. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Garnish your Bloody Mary with sports talk. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Fan Sports Saturday, folks. It's a treat. Look who that guy is. Ya Highness. WeWinYouWin.com joining us here on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. At least I think I'm supposed to say that. So let's do this first. We've got a newbie here.
Let's hit him off with a good morning. Columbus, Ohio. How we doing this beautiful Saturday morning? I just like to say something. I know Ohio weather's a little topsy-turvy at times. It's the state I grew up in, born and raised. But, you know, I'm coming in town Monday. It's going to be like 40 degrees. It's like 75 today. It's going to be 75 when I leave. The 1 or 2 days I'm in Columbus and then Toledo, it's going to be like not even 50 degrees. I'm going to die. Anyways,
so I don't know if Reimer knows about this or not, but, you know, you've got your $100 to $1 million thing. You are very excited about being a millionaire by the end of the year. Where are you at on that, on your $100 bet to $1 million?
Yeah, we're back at step one.
Okay.
Yeah, we're up. So coming into today, and I might put out a play there on the YouTube channel. You should be up about $630 some dollars. I don't have the exact figure in front of me, but a little over 600. So you should be up 6 units, which isn't anything to write home to mom about. But we're up money. We've never been down. We've been playing with the casino's money the whole time. So stick with me. We'll be all right. We've ran it up to 1,500 now 4 times. Yeah. So that's 5 or 6 wins in a row. I keep winning 5 or 6 in a row and then losing. So we're making money. Stick with me. You'll be all right.
Ya Highness, Jacob Reimer here. Before we get to the Final Four and those games tonight, what are the odds markets saying of who is going to be North Carolina's next head coach, and why is the favorite Dusty May?
I knew you guys were going to ask me that. Dusty May ain't going nowhere, baby. I don't know. I'm not an insider. I'm not a beat reporter. I don't have the inside scoop on the coaching carousel, as they call it. I would like to see North Carolina hire a younger, proven coach, somebody that's maybe proven it at some of these mid-American type conferences, or maybe the Sun Belt Conference, something like that, where if they get the resources behind them that North Carolina Chapel Hill has there, that they could be successful. You know, I think he's past that point, but if we went back 15 years, a guy like Shaka Smart, a guy like that, but what's the comparison to him today? So whoever that is, and I'm not as hip to that as far as the coaching carousel goes, but yeah, I would be targeting a guy in his early 40s, late 30s, if I was North Carolina, a guy that can get in there and coach for 20 years. And beat up on Shire, because he doesn't know how to coach with over there too.
So you can
he can recruit, but he can't coach.
Yep.
At Shut Up and Bet is where you can find him on YouTube, and you can see his bets for this $100 to $1 million. A lot of fun, and like he said, it's not like double your bet every time. There are certain stages to it, certain steps you take, and that's why even though he has not made it past the $15 question yet, you're still up money. You're still playing with house money when you do that. Go check that out. Also, WeWinYouWin.com. And much like we had our boy Gerb on earlier, and what I love about Gerber is he's very transparent on his picks, and I love that about you as well. That you put out there how many units you're up. With all the stuff you do on social media, you're very transparent and say I'm up this much, and this is where we're at. Follow me, and we'll make money. Do you have any specific things you love about the Final Four today?
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna plug this just because it came out the other day. My record keeper put out our end of month numbers for March. So $100 better would have made $5,120. That puts you year to date $100 better at $31,276. You should be in profit in 3 months. Not bad, making 10 grand a month. How about that? Gerber, yeah, shout out to Gerber. I have him on a show on my channel on Wednesdays, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Bobby Mack, we both loved. So if you watch that show, you should be on Robert McIntyre, who's got a huge lead right now. But anyways, let's talk college basketball. I'm going to give you what I put out to my community on Monday. Okay, I put these out way in advance, but let me go through both games for you, give you my little write-up. I'll read through it pretty quick. So Illinois-UConn is going to be a very slow game, okay? Their average tempo is 19.1. What does that mean? It means on average it takes them 19.1 seconds to get off that first shot. That's pretty slow. The 3 data points that are going to come down to make the most difference in this game is, number one, all offensive numbers are in favor of Illinois. Illinois is 7% better as a team from free throw percentage. And here's the real kicker. UConn commits almost 25% of their defensive plays. They commit a foul. Whereas, Illinois only does that 17% of the time. If we get officials like that Michigan-Tennessee game, where it's tightly called, UConn is in a lot of trouble. Number 3, they're both equal as far as three-point percentage. But here's the kicker. Illinois shot selection is 50-50, meaning half their shots come from 2, half their shots come from 3, where UConn is 60-40 split. That means in order to keep pace, UConn's going to have to force up more threes, which is outside their normal game. Usually when teams start playing outside their normal game, they struggle. And then we have the human element, okay, which is they won a game they weren't supposed to, and this usually applies to college football, but we call it the kind of the upset comeback, and there's an inappropriate name I'm going to use, but not on this show. It's where the team comes out and lays a dud after a big upset. We see this in college football often. I think we're going to see a little bit of a flat team. I think the first half under is a good bet in this game as well. But here, my write-up was that if we have officials like the Tennessee-Michigan game, UConn has no chance. If they let them play, this is the only chance that UConn has the victory. Illinois is the deeper team. They're deeper than Duke as well. If UConn ever gets down double digits like they did to Duke, the game is over. UConn has to play a clean foul game, and they have to shoot better than 37% from 3 to win. I think Illinois has a chance to win this game by double digits, and I think there's chances in the second half where you might start looking to change the channel, to be honest with you. I think I would bet this up to 6 points. I think Illinois comfortably wins by 2 full possessions, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. Mind you, Duke had UConn down big too. And then I'm blaming it purely on the coach. And you guys mentioned earlier on the show about poor coaching. Look at this. Was it 6.7 seconds to inbound the ball on the last possession? You never have to cross the timeline. Get it to whoever, Boozer, whoever you want to shoot the ball, and just hold it like a running back going into the goal line. You know, hold it in high and tight. Let them foul you. If they don't foul you, the clock runs out. While he was looking to pass the ball means that the coaching did not have them prepared leading into that play when they are in the huddle. That's 100% on the coach. All right, you ready for the Michigan game, or you got questions on the first one?
No, let's do that one. Go.
I do have one question on UConn, Illinois, because I was kind of leaning that way too, of where Illinois is so big that Terrace Reed, if he gets in foul trouble, like that's a serious thing where they would be in trouble right there. But does the fact that Dan Hurley is on the other side of it, does that factor into anything and what he can do and the adjustments that he can make?
Well, I mean, he's probably a little scrutinized. He probably can't touch any officials this game. So, I mean, if anything, he might be on a shorter leash.
It was just a head hug.
Head hug. And I don't have a huge problem with that, because at the end of the day, if the official felt like he was violated or something like that, he would have teed him up. So I don't get too carried away in that. And then somebody else tried to claim when the kid hit the three, one of the bench players from UConn ran down to the court celebrating, and they wanted to, get him a technical for that. It's silly. Come on. This is real people with real emotions here, folks. But in all actuality, is Hurley's a hothead. We know this, right? I'm not telling you anything you don't know. If they get down and the officials are calling it tight, I could see him getting teed up, not for touching a guy, but for just yelling and screaming. Because I'm telling you, if that officiating crew from the Michigan-Tennessee game, that was horrendously bad. One of those guys I know for sure is assigned to the UConn game. So we'll see what happens. But I think foul trouble is going to be the story. It's going to be a slow, boring kind of game in the first game. And then the second game, it's full speed ahead, my friend.
All right, before we get to that second game, because we're up against it. Look, Morning Juice, we can talk to you an hour and never go to break and no one cares. I'm up against you, though. Can you stick around for the next segment?
Of course.
All right. Folks, stick around. We'll get down to the Michigan-Arizona game and also preview what's coming up on Monday when Ya Highness makes an appearance in Columbus when it'll probably snow. But that's coming up next on Fan Sports Saturday on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron?
Yeah, Jerry?
Something is wrong.
Something's wrong?
Yeah, it's definitely something.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Thumping and bumping and jumping.
What is?
But it's not pumping.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry?
Yeah, Aaron.
Are we talking about your sump pump?
Yeah. Isn't it great?
Isn't what great?
I like the sound of it. Sump pump. Sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry, can you keep a secret?
Aaron, I'm as silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
I kind of like to say it too.
Hey, I should invent a sump pump that lets you know when it's working.
How would it do that?
It would say, sump pump, sump pump, sump pump.
That's a great idea, Jerry, but a sump pump should be exactly like you.
How so?
As silent as a bank vault in Switzerland.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Get Eco.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number one, I use it. Number two, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
What can ADP do for small business? We help answer the business questions, like how do you track employee time? How do you do payroll taxes? Or what does compliance even mean? So small businesses can focus on bigger questions. Now florists can ask, can we invent another holiday to sell bouquets? Pizza shops can ask, how do we stuff a calzone into a pizza crust? And pool cleaners can ask, what is that thing in the filter? These are the questions you can focus on when ADP takes care of the business of your small business. ADP for small business.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I grew up here, and after 25 years of telling this community's stories, this place still means so much to me. When I'm not in the newsroom, I'm usually out supporting the same people and causes I care deeply about. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still. It moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer, to speak up or lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Like a rite of spring, Tito Green begins Masters Week. Hosted by Skip Mossick, Lifetime Achievement Award winner by the Southern Ohio PGA. It adds a touch of class to the radio station.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan. The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and 32-ounce Yingling drafts for only $4. We firmly believe it's appropriate to tailgate before a youth soccer game. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Fan Sports Saturday, folks. It's a rare privilege. This doesn't happen. We don't ever have someone on for consecutive segments, but if someone's going to do it, it's going to be Chad at WeWinYouWin.com. Ya Highness joining us here. With lots of great insight, lots of great info on the Final Four. And let's preview now. Let's go to that second game. Michigan playing Arizona, your Wolverines, led by future North Carolina basketball coach Dusty May. And you got some kind of thoughts on that game as well.
Yeah, let me give you the same kind of rundown I did for the first game here. So the first game is going to be very slow. Like I said, if a lot of fouls are called, it's going to be kind of a boring game if you don't have a rooting interest. This is the exact opposite. Michigan 15.6 on tempo, Arizona 16.5. They're some of the fastest teams out there, according to Ken Pom. They're, like I said, exact opposite. This is going to be a much faster, higher scoring game. All right, the difference between the two teams, Michigan and Arizona, is Michigan is the better offensive efficiency and shooting team, where Arizona commits less turnovers and is a better rebounding team as a whole, as a team. Defense is going to go to Michigan, but turnovers and rebounds, like I said, is in Arizona's favor. This is the real national championship game. And again, this is what I put out on Monday, but it's come to be true, which is either one of these teams wins, will be facing the other team will be a 6-point favorite, regardless of who is who. Okay. It's 5.5 points to 6.5 points, depending on the book. But I think we're in for a nail biter. A lot of the numbers are suggesting this game might actually go under. My gut is telling me that it's going to actually go over. Comes down to three things. The team that can win two of these three categories wins the game. Number one, that's fast break points. That's going to really hit on the turnovers. Rebounds, which I think Michigan has as a team the better big man, but Arizona's big man, I can never remember his name. He's the real key to this whole. If he gets in foul trouble or sits early, Michigan might run away with this. If he has a good game, Michigan could lose this game. And then the third thing is bench points. So fast break points, rebounds, and bench points. The team that wins two of those three categories wins this game. For whatever it's worth, when both these teams are on 4 days rest or more, Michigan's undefeated. Arizona's 13-1. This should be a home game for Michigan, or darn near close to it. Arizona's coming almost 1,500 miles. Like I said, I'm a Michigan fan. I tell you, I know I'm on a Columbus radio station, but I'm a Michigan fan. I'm pulling for them. But I have futures on both Michigan and Arizona. So whoever wins this game is who I'll be cheering for on Monday there at Parlay Sports Club in downtown Columbus.
When did you place the futures bet on those guys?
All year long.
Okay, I don't think it's like right when the season started, you placed?
I have maybe 8 futures bets on Michigan that I throughout the year. One was like a $50 bet or something like that, a $100 bet at the beginning of the season. Arizona came a little bit later in the year, but I've only been on 3 teams all year long. I've been on Duke, Michigan, and Arizona. Those are the only 3 teams I've had futures on for basketball all year long. And Tito, they don't know, but I'll tell them anyways. I haven't missed on a college championship game in football or basketball since COVID. And I've only missed on the Dodgers for baseball last year. That's just because I refused to bet the Dodgers. And I ain't betting them this year either. So, but yeah, I mean, we had Indiana, and the same thing. I only had 3 teams. I had Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana were the only 3 teams for football I had for national championship. So Arizona or Michigan's win a national championship. I would love to see Illinois play Michigan, but that's more of my fan and my bias because that means the Big Ten's guaranteed to finally get that national championship again.
Chad, when I look at this Michigan and Arizona game, I look at the front courts and I feel like they cancel each other out because of how dominant those front courts are, and that it's going to come down to guard play. And games in this time of year always come down to guards stepping up in big moments and making the big shot. Jaden Bradley's been that guy all year for Arizona. Can Michigan get what they need from Elliot Cadeau? Thank goodness he's healthy with the scare that he had earlier in the week with getting to Indianapolis with the allergic reaction. But can he continue to play at this high of a level that he's been on their run to the Final Four?
Don't you know Cadeau?
Yes, I do.
My man Cadeau, I have a love-hate relationship with Cadeau. Because why? Because he's good. He is very good, right? But he is careless with the ball. We've seen this even in the Tennessee game where we're dribbling it 3 or 4 dribbles down the court, and then we got to make a half-court pass for no reason that gets picked off and run down for that is where, that's where Arizona can beat Michigan, is silly things like that. On the surface level, Michigan's the better offensive team, better defensive team. It's the fouls and the turnovers that are going to make the difference. Here's a fun little stat, little next level for you folks. Arizona shot selections. A lot of people don't look at this. Not percentage, but shot selection. 75% are just short of that. They shoot 2-point shots, which means about a fourth of their shots are 3-point shots. Michigan is 58-42. Their 3-point percentage as a team is 0.2% different. Let's just call that equal, okay? Just on shot selection, trading 2s for 3s is not going to win Arizona this game. If Arizona gets hot from 3, they got a chance to win. If the big man dominates down low or gets Yaxel in foul trouble, they got a chance. But do not be surprised. And I put a bet out there. It's a little aggressive, but I have a parlay where both Illinois and Michigan win their games by 6 or more points each. So it's a little bit of a long shot. It's aggressive. The lines are only like -1.5, so I bought them up. But I'm that confident really in Illinois taking them to town. And Michigan, it could go Michigan's way, but that more than likely is going to come down to a last shot.
One of the things also that you do, and I grew up back when there'd be like the commercials for sports bettors, sign in with me, $99 today gets you every pick. I'm guaranteed. I've hit 80% of all these kind of things, like ridiculous people on there doing their like little spiel in these infomercials. And you have very reasonable pricing on yours. And the fact you told us how much money you could make betting with you, I know that yours compared to probably other services you might buy is much more reasonable. And what I love about you also is that I said I love you like 9 times on this segment, Reimer. Don't do that in professional radio. But you have specials you offer our listeners. Do you have anything going on right now to offer our listeners to entice them to give it a shot?
So I announced it on your morning juice that it was going to go live Friday. So now it's Saturday. It's live. So the promo code is 971 for 97.1. 420. So 971-420. That gets you $420 for the whole entire year. That's good until the 20th of this month. Tito's laughing. I'm trying to be coy about this.
You are, right.
Anyways, that works out to $35 a month, folks. Look, even if you're a $5 bettor, it pays for itself. And look, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. I'm not here to trick you, whatever. I only want people that want to be a part of the community. Look, I don't care about selling you anything. Whether everybody quit tomorrow, I'm still going to be doing this. I do this because I love it. You said something I caught earlier before I got ready, that I don't miss a show. That's right. I don't miss a show. If I'm on 2 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, I eat, breathe, and sleep this. I wake up. Well, here, you want to know the truth is I stay up to about 1 o'clock in the morning putting out grades for the next day, and then wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do it all over again, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I would love to help those people in Columbus make a little cheddar, a little bread But you can take the horse to water, can't make him drink. Come drink some water with your highness. Come on. Now, Jacob, I'm going to put this on the spot here. You got a favorite number for me?
Favorite number? Just 5.
Yeah, just pick your favorite number.
5's my favorite number.
This is what I'm going to do. If you email me, the people listening, Chad, that's my first name, at WeWinUwin.com. My first name, Chad, at WeWinUwin.com. Put Jacob, the fan, or put Jacob's name in the subject line, and I will give you, you said 5?
Yeah.
I'll give you your first month for $5.
Look at this.
I'll give you your first month for $5. You should have picked $25.
That'd be great.
You should have been a
you asked me my favorite number. That's my favorite number.
$5. You got to email me, first name Chad, CHAD, at WeWinUwin.com. Put Jacob or something like that in the subject line, and I'll give you your first month for $5 courtesy. Now, I'm going to bill you on this, Jacob. You don't know this. $5. No, that's a joke. But seriously, folks, I want to help you. Help me help you. What is that? Jerry Maguire, show me the money. Yeah, that's real life, folks. I'm looking at it right now, by the way. So you want truth? We had a profitable month, but my last week was a losing week, folks. 21 and 21, you would have lost about 8 units. So there are losing weeks in there. Let me be very transparent. But on average, 9 to 10 months a year are profitable. We usually have 1 to 2, sometimes 3 at most losing months. Look, I didn't quit a $160,000 sales job to come do this because it was a great way to make money. Okay, I make a lot less now than I did then, but this is what I love, for the love of the game, baby.
Especially you lose money now with Reimer putting out these prices for you. Thank God it wasn't one.
$5, baby. Come
on. And that's, again, Chad at WeWinUwin.com. Put Jacob in the subject line. Put Reimer, or just put Cheap Jacob. Or, put Jacob screws Chad. But go and put that in there, $5. You go ahead. No. Anyway.
I was going to say, I got to pay extra for that now. Come on.
Right. Here's his favorite number is 25.
Oh, look at that. I got Charlie Roman. Thanks, Charlie Roman. Here, I got the $5 holler come through my inbox right there. Charlie Roman, shout out, brother, if you're listening. Jacob, Monday, 7 o'clock, Parlay Sports Club, downtown Columbus on High Street. Yeah, I'll be there. Don't be a square. Come in. Look, Bobby Carpenter doesn't know he's going yet, but Bobby Carpenter is going to be there. He hasn't officially said that, but I'll drive to, where does he live? Upper Arlington or something?
He lives close,
I'll drive and get him. I don't even have a car. I'll rent a car at the airport. I'll drive and get him. Number 42 in a house.
It's at 570 North High Street. It is Parlay Sporting Club and Kitchen. Go to parlaycolumbus.com. Check it out there. We are there at around 7 o'clock. Ya Highness is there till the end. I am there until tip-off probably. I got a text message from the manager out there just recently, said, you are locked in. I have you a great space to watch, eat, and play. Me and Ya Highness, maybe Jacob Reimer, maybe Bobby Carpenter. Who hell knows who else might be there. But it'll be a great time. Chad will be out there. Thanks for the time, buddy. Thanks for sticking around for the segment. I appreciate that. And I will see you Monday night.
Jacob. I've had 5 emails come across this $5 holler. I just did it on the spot. Jacob, I want to see you Monday. I'll buy you a beer. Tito, tell your sister to come, all dressed up pretty.
April
Anyways,
20th birthday.
I'm out of here, guys.
All right, that was Ya Highness. Go check him out. Chad at WeWinUwin.com. Always a treat. He will be out there with me on Monday, and apparently now Jacob Reimer. And then on Tuesday, he'll be live in studio for a segment or two with Carp and I on Morning Juice. We'll do all of that. But yes, $5, what a great deal. And Reimer now is currently trying to bankrupt WeWinUwin.com with the $5 thing. But that's great that he's honoring it, though. That is awesome. Coming up next, a college ball booster is feuding with a college football commissioner. Fan Sports Saturday on the Fan.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Spring is hatching at the Columbus Zoo. Join us April 3rd and 4th for Eggs, Paws, and Claws. Snap a pic with the Easter Bunny, meet Egbert, roll into Shelley's Celebration, and crack the clues in the Explore and Find. It's 2 extra fun days you won't want to miss. Get your discounted tickets at Kroger.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and the Fan
Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10TV and the Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/raisetheroof. 10tv.com/raisetheroof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
People don't realize that glaucoma is one of the leading causes of blindness.
Because there are often no early symptoms, nearly half of those with glaucoma may not even know they have it until vision loss has occurred.
I was diagnosed with normal tension glaucoma in July of 2020. And what we found out at that point was I had already lost 40% of my sight. You think it only affects people that are, 75 or older, retired, grandparents, and that's not the reality of it.
I didn't think at all glaucoma was going to affect me because I didn't know of anyone that had glaucoma, no one in my family. When you have glaucoma, you can't get back that sight that you lost. And so early detection and treatment is vitally, vitally important.
Don't miss life's most beautiful moments. Schedule an eye exam today.
National Glaucoma Research, a Bright Focus Foundation program, offers free resources and tips for healthy vision.
Learn how to protect your sight at stopglaucoma.org.
What would it take for my child to only miss half a day of school for treatment?
What would it take to fund a cure for childhood cancer?
It would take all of us to come together to support the research. Join us. Go to childrenscancer.org today.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Nate Puterball with your sports update. The Columbus Blue Jackets' backs are against the wall as they head into the last 6 games of the regular season. They're at home tonight to take on the Winnipeg Jets, having lost 5 straight. They're currently sitting at a 4-way tie for the final wild card spot. Puck drops at 7 with extended fan coverage beginning at 6. The Cincinnati Reds were in Texas yesterday to take on the Rangers and picked up their first road win of the season on the back of a tie-breaking 2-run home run from Tyler Stevenson in the 9th. They square off again tonight at 7:05 with Rhett Lauder on the mound for the Reds to take on Kumar Rocker. The Guardians picked up a win last night against the Cubs 4-1. Rookie Chase DeLauer had 3 hits, including a 2-run home run in the 7th to break the game open. They return to Progressive Field tonight at 7:15 with Slade Ciccone facing the Cubs' Shota Manga. And Columbus Crew SC return to action tonight. They're in Atlanta to take on the United at 7:30. Breaking sports news weapons of the Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
Just because it's the weekend doesn't mean we shut up. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
Final hour of the program. Where has the time gone? By the way, Ya Highness just texted me. Up to 10 people now. Reimer, you've got the dude. You know what? That's when you get Jacob Reimer backing your product.
Endorsement of a television celebrity.
I'm telling you, man. Like, I can sit there. He doesn't get that kind of response when I promote it. You get Jacob Reimer's name on the back of that thing, it just explodes. Also, the fact that getting the Jacob discount's also a big thing. 5 is the number that you can pay. That is, let's see. You say do 42, what is it? $420 for the whole year, which that is what? That's about $25 a month off the top of my head. Mm-hmm. And Reimer's giving you $5 for the first month. Look at that.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Could it also be looks?
It's definitely looks. Oh, yes, it's looks.
I mean, everyone just sees this flowing hair of mine. And
yes, I know. It's what it is, man. Those locks of beauty. Yeah, Highness, but I think also one more thing about him. What he runs these and I've asked him before, because he's going to keep getting bigger. He's got that personality. It's going to keep his business keep growing. And he always does these like grassroots kind of contests where squares for a Super Bowl contest or squares for NCAA tournament or get 68 people to sign up and each gets to pick one ball to see if your team wins a championship. You get points every time they win. All these different things he does. And everything has a charity element into it where
That's
he gives
great.
something back to kids.
Yeah.
He'll do like an Arizona Youth Baseball Association or something in Toledo. Usually the two he does with, or Michigan sometimes. But like he will, where a certain percentage of the money, it's not like your 50-50 things you might see people do for their kids' youth teams. It's like, it's not that big of a split, so you still can win significant money. But a portion of it, though, always goes to something like that when he does those contests. So
yeah, that's really cool.
Solid. Yes, very solid. So again, $5. Chad at WeWinYouWin.com. And you heard what he said he's made. If you're a $5 better or $100 better, you're going to make money at least across the course of the year for that one. So thank you to him for joining us there on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest video, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, so the Big 12, Commissioner Brett Yormark, is feuding with the Board of Regents chairman for Texas Tech and a huge booster in Cody Campbell, where the thing is that the Big 12 wants Texas Tech to play a Friday night game on September 19th in Lubbock against Houston, conference opener. The Big 12 wants it on Friday night, September 19th in Lubbock. And Cody Campbell came out just absolutely blasting that, talking about, and he's right about this part, how big high school football is in Texas on Friday nights. Campbell said the TV partners, have the draft or whatever. The conference doesn't want to really acknowledge it, but they do have an ability to influence those decisions. This is what he told the Avalanche Journal on Tuesday. They just chose not to because they were chasing ratings, which I do understand on one hand, but on the other hand, high school football is important in the state of Texas. Cody Campbell tweeted out, Friday night lights are sacred in the great state of Texas. It's absolutely absurd that the Big 12 and Fox Sports will consider scheduling Texas Tech and Houston on a Friday night. This is October 18th, but I heard September 19th. I know that
I know he wants it on the 18th.
Okay, right, yeah.
On Thursday.
Right. He says, I know Brett Yormark is not a native Texan, so he kind of gets him. But then Yormark came out and said Cody Campbell does not run the Big 12, which is fair. He does.
That's factual.
That's factual. Do you think that either one is right or wrong in this situation?
I understand where Campbell is coming from because, yeah, it's Texas Tech and Houston. That's two Texas teams. And, Friday nights in Texas is unbelievable. If you see, like we all know what their high school football stadiums are. Like, they almost look like college stadiums at times. That's how big it is there.
Right.
As someone that once lived in Houston, I can confirm my high school football stadium held 18,000 people.
Oh, my gosh. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But I understand, they're in a tough spot because if you then move it to the 18th, that Thursday before, you're conflicting with the NFL.
Right.
And I think the whole point of this is to get a spotlight on the Big 12 because everyone wants to look at the Big 10 and the SEC. Mm-hmm. And rightfully so. Those are the two juggernaut conferences. Those two run every decision that's made. And then what's the Big 12 doing? What's the ACC doing? The Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12. They've made it to the playoff last year. They're with what they have in resources, they're likely going to be in contention again to be the best team in the conference.
Yep.
So I understand wanting to get a spotlight on your best team and not in the mix on a Saturday with all the other SEC teams, with all the other Big 10 teams, with Ohio State, with Alabama, with Georgia, with Oregon, with Michigan, all those big brands in those big conferences. So they're in a tough spot because how are you going to get to the Big 12 to that level of the Big 10 and the SEC in college football? Right. That is the way to do it. But to his point, high school football is king on Friday nights in Texas.
It is. And I may be a bit naive here, but shocker, breaking news on that one.
I need that sounder.
I know. I wish I had. I can't do it over here. It would be great. Nonetheless, here we go. I know he's going to find it. There we go.
Yeah. That might be my favorite one.
When I've heard
hockey,
when I've heard talk, the Big Ten, they do some Friday night games. They do it. Some teams say we're not doing it. We're not going to play on Friday nights.
They understand that Ohio State won't do that.
Right. But I don't really care. If they played Ohio State on a Friday night, I wouldn't be up in arms about it.
Yeah.
Because you I like the idea of having choices. Okay? If I'm somebody who doesn't really go to high school football games and you give me the Ohio State game as an option, maybe I'll choose Ohio State. Maybe I'll go to the high school. Maybe I'll go to the damn high school game and watch Ohio State on my phone at the same time.
You could do that, yeah.
I multitask. That's what I do.
It's the beauty in technology now.
Yeah. Really causes problems in the marriage. But anyway, that's a podcast right there. Second marriage. So first marriage, I don't think iPhones were really a big thing back then. Anyway, when it's all on subject, we're not going to do that right now. But I'm just saying, like, I'm okay with options. I'm okay with it. If you don't want to watch Texas Tech and Houston, don't. If you want to, do it. If you want to watch high school football, go. If it's more important to you, I don't mind people having choices on this. I think that you can make your own choice on what you want to do. Every day of the week, go to Maction. With Maction, when they start doing Tuesday and Wednesday games and stuff like that, you have choices. If you're excited about it, want to watch OU take on Akron, go for it. If you'd rather watch...
College basketball's going on then.
I almost caught myself making like a television reference that I know would not have... Okay, I'm going to say it. This is the first thing popped in my head. If you'd rather watch Survivor on Tuesday, if that's even on, I don't know, instead of the Action game, you can do that. You've got options. It's okay. I don't see the reason to fight about this.
Yeah. I mean, like I was saying, like the Big 12 needs to find a way to get into with the big boys.
Yeah.
And that is their best way.
Box.
That is their best way of doing that. You obviously you're mostly stuck on Saturdays and you're in the middle of it all, going up against all the big boys, and maybe draw a nationally televised game on ABC or Fox or CBS or something. And this would be their way, but at that point in the season, you're going up against the NFL on Thursday night. You can't move it to Sunday because that's the NFL's day. Mm-hmm. So like there's no other option really to really get the eyes on the Big 12 and your best team in the conference other than Friday night.
Hear my take on the NFL with their, Wednesday games coming up here, or the Wednesday game.
No.
Here's my take on this. I believe the NFL right now is actively trying to have an 8th day added to each week so they could play another game on that one. Make up a day. They're trying to get an 8th day added to the calendars so they can maybe actually play NFL football 8 days a week.
What?
That's my take. I know. It's not popular. I know. That's okay. I think that's what they're doing.
No,
by the way, the NFL could do it.
My brain is breaking trying to figure out 8 days a week.
I understand. There's a Beatles song about it. All of a sudden, that become relevant again. You could do that.
You could have that as the theme song on Wednesday Night Football.
Ya Highness texted me, and apparently Reimer's it's what he does. But he has said to please let the listeners know to give him an hour, because this whole code thing was just off the top of his head when he did this. So he's getting emails about it, but he doesn't have it set up on the site yet because he had no idea Jacob Reimer would lowball that much. It's not as simple as just going through and changing a number.
Hey, he asked me my favorite number.
Reimer, no, I get it. You did the right thing. You did the right thing. The listeners love you. You all of a sudden get more Twitter followers now. By the way, that happens. You won't follow me. Anyway, but that's a shameless plug. But Ya Highness said to give him an hour to get the code up there. You can keep emailing him, Chad at WeWinUwin.com. Put Jacob in the subject line, put Cheap Jacob, put Jacob Rex Businesses or whatever. Put whatever you want in that one, but you'll get $5 for the next month on his thing. But it just takes an hour is what he needs to put all this together haphazardly because he did not expect Jacob to bankrupt his business. Coming up next, more college football talk. Should college football championship games be abolished? That's next. Fan Sports Saturday.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Aviators football returns Friday, April 17th, 8 p.m. kickoff. The first 5,000 fans through the gates take home a free team flag. Grab your tickets now at uflaviators.com. United we fly.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years.
I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
Disasters strike, fires, hurricanes, earthquakes. Direct Relief delivers. No politics, no red tape. Direct Relief is a lifeline to people in crisis. So check them out at directrelief.org. And if you can, donate.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much stuff because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part? Knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
Oakland Nursery has been keeping Central Ohio green for 86 years, but they've had some help. The greenest lawns around start with the Andersons 4-application lawn program, now on sale for $69.99. Oakland's best DIY program covers 5,000 square feet. The Andersons 4-application program is available exclusively in Central Ohio at Oakland. Plus, buy now and get a 15-pound bag of fortified season-long grub control, usually $22.99, now just $10 a bag with purchase. That's over a 50% savings only at Oakland.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Jerry, you know how we remind people not to be a sump pump grump this time of year?
I sure do. If people's sump pumps aren't pumpy, they sure can get grumpy.
And down in the dumpy.
But our $89 sump pump inspection can replace all that sump pump grumpiness with happiness.
Even if it doesn't rhyme.
Get Eco.
ECO. Our expert sump pump plumbers will make sure your sump pump is working to spec and ready to pump. We'll even do a camera inspection of your downspout drainage system to make sure there aren't any backups causing problems down the line.
And turn your sump pump grump into a flow-it-all, know-it-all.
Get Eco.
ECO. Jerry, I'm starting to think not everything we do has to rhyme.
But rhymes help people remember things they like, Aaron. I mean, you like hokey pokey, don't you?
I do like the hokey pokey.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and sump pump technicians.
Aetna has been my lifesaver. Easy to understand, and if not, customer service is always there to help.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We show up for you, because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
For 25 years, the Library of Congress Veterans History Project has collected and preserved the experiences of America's heroes. From original letters to oral histories, these first-hand accounts bring history to life, one voice at a time. With over 120,000 stories collected, each reveals the courage, sacrifice, and service of our veterans. But many remain untold. Help our nation reach 125,000. Share a story. Ensure a legacy. Visit loc.gov/vets today.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll see a partly cloudy sky for the afternoon. It'll be warm and breezy with highs right around records in the lower 80s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms develop later in the afternoon, especially during the evening hours. Some of those could be strong severe with gusty winds being the main hazard. Overnight, rain and storms end early, then mostly cloudy. Lows are back in the mid-40s. Much cooler for Sunday, more clouds and sunshine, a little brisk at times. Highs only reach the lower 50s. For The Fan, I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Justin Gertz.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
Herbert and the Skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Instead of annoying national people talking to you this weekend, we've opted for annoying local people. This is Fan Sports Saturday.
All right, folks, again. Jacob Reimer, courtesy of him and Ya Highness, Chad at WeWinYouWin.com, $5. You can go in there and get a month for $5.
How many are we at now?
I don't know. He just asked me. He told the thing about tell people to give me an hour to get the code and website set up for $5. And here we go. Oh, he changed the code. The code now is Jacob 971.
Okay.
Jacob 971 is the code.
I have my own
you have a code
now.
Yes, you've made it. And he's going to let me know as we get more and more people on there. I'll try to get a number before the end of the show, but WeWinYouWin.com. Chad at WeWinYouWin.com. Go in there and Jacob 971 or just say anything derogatory about Jacob, and he will get you that $5 for 1 month. You will make money. You will make money. You will make money. All right. SEC championship game. This was an SEC official was talking about this and trying to get Greg Sankey's attention, but that he said that the official in SEC school was asked about the championship games, and he says its days are numbered with the fact that the way the playoff is structured now, it's no longer a 2-team, it's no longer a 4-team. We're going to get to 16 at some point. It's going to happen that way. Now, I believe the SEC championship games, and this is Greg Byrne told USA Today that the ship has sailed, it's run its course. That the SEC championship game, it was the Alabama AD who said that one, Greg Byrne. But he said, yeah, it's not as important as it used to be. And I agree with that. With any of these games, the conference championship games don't mean as much as they used to. It did not affect Ohio State and Indiana getting byes last year, right? I mean, the outcome of the game, it did not change the fact that both of them got byes. Now, it would have changed, maybe where they were slotted in there, but nonetheless, it did not change the fact they both got byes.
Yeah. Like Ohio State still would have been one, and if they would have won, this is where I get mad with all the expansion talk, because I do enjoy these conference tournament games or conference championship games. Okay. And it's all then to the point of regular season and conference tournament or conference championship games don't matter. And I think every game should have meaning to it. Like, that's why you're likely going to see less from the SEC playing against a power conference, because they want to make sure that, like Texas last year, gets in. But hey, schedule them, win the games, and you're not even worried about it.
I look at it like, and I'm with you. Look, I used to love the games. They do get great ratings. They get ratings, which is why they'll probably keep doing it. Like the ratings fact, the fact that Georgia last year, even though Georgia beat Alabama, it got 16.86 million viewers, which was an increase per Nielsen over Georgia's overtime win over Texas the previous year, 16.63 million. Both years, it was the highest rated SEC game of the season. It would be because it's the only SEC game being played at that time.
You see, this is a completely different time, but where a conference championship did impact the playoff was in the very first year of it.
Yeah.
With Ohio State winning against Wisconsin the way they did, it allowed them to jump TCU and Baylor to get that last spot. I know we're expanded now, but that's a case of where the conference championship game impacted the playoff.
Last year, because the ACC was an aberration.
Yeah.
With the fact that, the Duke thing and all of that. But it's still, to me, in most years, the top two teams in the SEC and Big Ten, the teams playing, and even in some cases, the Big 12 this, and ACC again last year, aberration. But for the most part, though, the top two teams playing in those conferences, in all likelihood, the die has already been cast on who's going to get in.
Yeah.
Now, if you have an upset, maybe that would change things, or you're a team who needs one, and they might knock somebody out one of the two weaker conferences, the less powerful four. But I look at it like, for the Big Ten, last year would be more beneficial to their conference to have like the 3rd and 4th place teams playing instead of 1 and 2, or the 5th and 6th place, whatever. Give somebody a chance to move up on that, which has been proposed that way.
Yeah.
It just it after how successful, how much fun I had with the first 2 years of the campus site games, and I know the ratings won't necessarily reflect that, but those campus games though are more intriguing to me than the conference championship games. Ohio State changes things if it's them in the championship, but like Ohio State, Tennessee, loved that game.
Yeah.
Loved all the things around that. Last year, Miami and A&M. Last year, Alabama, Oklahoma. Those games always mean a lot. It won't change because of the money unless they drastically increase the money in other ways to make up for that. But I understand why some people might think that the conference championship games have run their course.
I wish that they would do home on-campus games all the way up to the Final Four.
Yeah, me too.
And then you do the bowl games and you have those set before the year starts. Because one thing that bothers me is with this playoff, with those on-campus games, that's essentially a bowl game for a team. Like, you lose and you're done. You're not going to a bowl. And I've always felt that that's been the cool thing is you get to go and you get to celebrate your season at a bowl. And I think you can still do that with on-campus games all the way up to the Final Four. And then teams that have lost, you slot them in wherever the bowl games kind of meet that criteria of what conference takes it. And then that's their last game.
And I don't like home games in that first round of the playoffs and whatnot. Yeah, you're right. They're bowl games to the teams. They're bowl games to the home fans.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people can travel out to Pasadena to watch Ohio State play in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Or go down at Jerry World. Not that you even want to because of, I know it's Ohio State's very large as well, but it's, it is, though, a chance for people who maybe can't afford the $500 to $700 to $1,000 airfare and hotel rooms. If Ohio State's playing here, you get a chance to get tickets. Whatever money you spent on that trip to Pasadena, you can probably spend half that and get into the game and go home at night.
Well, and if you're trying to follow them too, if they go deep, like you're like Ohio State's run. You went to Pasadena, then you went to Jerry's World, and then you went to Atlanta. Like you easily could just have Pasadena for one, and then Atlanta for the national championship. Like that's still a lot of money,
right?
But it's a lot cheaper than airfare tickets to literally all over the country.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so I don't, and the other part of that too is why I wish they would dump the conference championship games, I guess, is so we don't have long breaks like we have in every year now with the playoffs, things like that, the 2.5 weeks off, whatever it is, and then ending the season in late January.
But that's the longer that it goes now, it's getting ridiculous. But you can advance that up to where it's, I know you want to have Army Navy have its own game,
right?
Maybe you take that week off, to kind of prep, and then you start it. Or is that kind of how it is now?
Well, I know they're talking now though. One of the things they're talking about doing, it won't be this upcoming season. It start in 2027. Is everybody plays week 0?
Yeah, yep, I've heard that too.
That cuts a week off of it when you do it that way. Where everyone plays week 0 though, and I don't know. And then you might see some teams, and there's always a talk. You got to worry about the thing with the SEC doing their scheduling now, playing the 9 conference games versus 8. Our team's going to cancel series. There's been the talk. I think it was Austin Ward on the Buckeye Show famously said that he doesn't think Ohio State Alabama is going to happen.
Yeah, when is that? 2030?
I think it's 27-28.
Oh, it's coming up.
It's either 27-28 or 28-29, one or the other. I'll take a look. But yeah, I think that it was but it is coming up though on the horizon here, and then Ohio State also has a Georgia series coming out as well.
I think that one's in the
that's
33. Yeah,
that one's a little bit later.
Yeah, I've got 28 up now. I don't see Bama on here. Is it more 29?
Then is it next year? There won't be any marquee games then? Take a look here now. This is great radio.
It is next year.
Okay, next year.
Next year.
Okay,
Bama and Ohio State is 27-28.
Okay, yeah.
Did I just miss it in 28? Did I go over it? Oh yeah,
September 9th.
Yep. Okay, I just completely. There's too many different colors and stuff on this website with the helmets and stuff. So yeah, it is next year and in 28. I could see that still happening.
But Georgia,
I think, would be
I
the
think
bigger
Georgia's
question.
out.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Boy, that 2027 schedule for Ohio State, when they get Alabama here, they do have to play at Michigan. They have to play at Oregon. No Indiana on the schedule that year, though, which is really hard to say that that's a big deal. But no, they do get USC. So the home schedule that year, they're going to have, in addition to their week, Bowling Green, New Hampshire, whatever, they get Alabama here, and they get USC here, at Michigan, at Oregon. That'll be a tough little slate right there.
At Oregon's tough.
Yeah, at Oregon's tough. It's a great atmosphere out there, too, by the way.
USC coming here would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yep, that's the kind of thing I'm looking forward to that right there, seeing things like that. All right, folks, coming up in 2 minutes. Has Tom Brady been surpassed? He has. That's next. Fan Sports Saturday.
It's Timmy Hall here with Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending. Now, Gordon, I remember hearing of your no-cost mortgages back in 2008 when I was on the air in Raleigh-Durham. So what brings you to Central Ohio?
Hey, Tim. Small world, isn't it? But we saw Columbus as the perfect market to offer our no-closing cost mortgage product. With a growing population and relocations, it was similar to our original decision to expand into Raleigh back in '96.
Well, I get to see firsthand how well it worked in Carolina. So how about explaining to our listeners how it truly has no closing cost associated?
That's right, Tim. Way back in 1987, I found a way to do mortgages without using the standard method of buying the rate down with thousands of dollars in various costs. Rates were volatile, much like they are today. And folks were stuck at higher rates because it simply cost too much to refinance. There had to be a better way, and we think we found it.
That was Gordon Miller, founder of Miller Lending, the home of the no-cost loan. Give him a call, 877-9-NO-COST, or online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 2502146.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary right here in Ohio. America 250 Ohio is partnering with communities across the state to bring events and experiences to all 88 counties all year long. Explore Ohio's history on dynamic driving trails. Enjoy Ohio-related movie screenings, or attend engaging history talks, plus so much more. See the full calendar of events and discover what's happening near you at America250-ohio.org. Sponsored by the Ohio History Connection, aired by the OAB and this station.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Save big on this family favorite. USDA Choice bone-in rib roasts are on sale now for just $8.99 a pound with your card. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Sports talk, weekend style. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Fan Sports Saturday. Keep using that code, Jacob971. I will get an update before we get to the final segment. If we'll get Ya Highness, we'll get there. So, okay. I teased, it was very irresponsible tease, but that's usually my teases, that Tom Brady has been surpassed, and he has. Via over the cap, highest paid players in NFL history. All I see on this list are quarterbacks. Shocker.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, 2009 to now, $408 million.
It's a lot of money.
I think it's about a third of what like a fourth string guard makes in the NBA. Just because they're ridiculous.
That's outrageous.
I know. Aaron Rodgers, 2005 to present, and still might be present. $395 million, $812, $794. This other guy started 7 years after Rodgers, 3 years after Stafford, and now has passed Tom Brady, third all-time on the list. One Mr. Kirk Cousins, $341 million, $469, $288. Brady. Now, Brady used to take pay cuts to help out the roster. I get all that. $317 million for him, roughly a little more than that. Then Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan, Dak Prescott, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Jared Goff. Cousins just signed this deal with the Raiders, which is only got $20 million guaranteed on it. It's 5 years, $172. There's no way he's going to play 5 years. They're drafting Mendoza. Cousins may play 2 years, but he's got 1 year. There's an option, team option, 2 additional years at $80 million each. Atlanta's paying Cousins $8.7 million of the money this season. Las Vegas pays him $1.3, and then the Raiders are giving Cousins a $10 million roster bonus on the third day of the 2027 league year. Here's Cousins' contracts to get him to this point. And he was first drafted by Washington. Were they the Commanders or Redskins who got drafted? Do we know that?
It was Redskins.
They were
Redskins.
Yeah. 2012. It says Commanders on here, but it's a lie. Anyway, because he was a 4th-round pick, that was the same draft where they took RG3, he got a 4-year, $2.57 million deal. And then in 2015, he came in and led them to a division title. And then the next year, so he's got 4 years, $2.57 million, chump change. The next year, he gets the non-exclusive franchise tag, gets 1 year, $19.953 million, just short of $20 million. Then they franchise tag him again, $23.9 million. Then he gets the deal with the Vikings, 3 years, $84 million. So he goes there, and then he gets an extension with the Vikings, 2 years, $66 million. Then he gets another one. It's a 1-year deal, $35 million in 2023. Then he gets the 4 years, $180 million with the Falcons, and now he's got this deal with the Raiders.
All that to buy you one playoff win.
See, that's the thing. Because we've seen guys in other sports have fantastically long careers and never really do anything in the playoffs. See Trout, Mike. And I know you can't blame Trout for all because the Angels are an inept organization. It's 9 players on that team. You've got to have the owner's an idiot. But nonetheless, they did have Shohei and then mismanaged that. They had Pujols they gave way too much money to. Anthony Rendon, the other guy they got. I can go on and on about the Angels, which is great. Columbus radio is talking Angels baseball from 10 years ago on a Saturday. But, yes, Cousins getting that. Now, Rodgers won 1 Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Stafford, 1?
Yeah, he's got 1.
He's got 1. Brady, 40. Russell Wilson, 1. Matt Ryan, 0. Dak, 0. Breeze, 1. Roethlisberger, 2. Goff, 1. Right? Did he win with Philly? No, was he back up on that? Was he, okay.
No.
That was the other one.
You're thinking of Wentz.
That's what I think it was Wentz. You're right. So, you're right. 1 playoff win. If you say 1 playoff win, then yes, that right there is valid. It's true. But also, though, only 1 fewer Super Bowl win than Rodgers. 1 fewer than Stafford. 1 fewer than Wilson. Same as Matt Ryan. Same as Dak Prescott. 1 fewer than Breeze. So it's like it's not. But he does give the Raiders. It's smart for the Raiders to do this deal, right?
Is it?
I think it is.
I mean, they're going to be drafting Mendoza at number 1. So they're paying all this money.
Are they?
What's that?
If you're giving Cousins that much money, are you drafting Mendoza?
Yeah, they're drafting Mendoza. They're going to draft Mendoza. That's going to happen. That's a done deal.
But like that's the thing that's really freaking me out is like you spend that much money for a guy like Kirk Cousins and his age to just be your backup.
Well, the only pay.
Or are you going to start him a few games and kind of work with Mendoza?
Yes, Cousins going to start the first year.
Still, to be spending this much money on a guy to sit on your bench at some point, I will never understand that.
Well, they can cut him after this first year.
Okay.
So they're only on the hook for $20 million. 1 year, $20 million is what the deal essentially is. I know it says 5/172. It's not 5/172. It's 1 year for 20, and he's going to start.
Guaranteed.
Yes, $20 million is guaranteed. They're going to draft Mendoza. Now, if you look at things like when Cousins was with Washington, they draft RG3 at the top.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more guaranteed money than Cousins did it for. Combine the two, it's not that much salary to pay your 2 quarterbacks at that time. Same thing now with Cousins. You're going to pay Mendoza, yes, number 1 pick. He will get big guaranteed money up top at the very beginning of it. But paying those 2 guys that much money is no different than the Steelers. It's actually, no different like the Steelers paying Rodgers and say Will Howard. It goes to other teams have had 2. When Russell Wilson took over the job in Seattle his rookie year, and they had Matt Flynn they gave a lot of money to at the time. It was like $20 million over 3 years, some ridiculous number.
Or when the Steelers picked up Justin Fields.
Yes, you're right.
And they also got Wilson, yeah.
If you look at the total number you're spending on quarterbacks, it's not that much. And I think that the Raiders, what they're trying to do, they want to ease Mendoza into it, which I get. I know there's a lot of pressure usually to play the quarterback right away. If they had not signed Kirk Cousins, then yes, I think there would have been huge pressure on Mendoza to start right away. This way they can ease him into it. And the offensive line was awful last year. They got the center from the Ravens, Linderbaum, who's going to be, and if I mispronounce his name, don't get on me in the chat. But anyway, Linderbaum. Anyway, the fact they're upgrading the offensive line, but you still want to see what they can do before you throw Mendoza out there to the Wolves.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I mean, we've seen it up here in Cleveland of like just you're kind of rotating in and out quarterbacks with Gabriel and then Sanders. Right. You're throwing those guys right into it. And I know like I've kind of been big on, if you draft a quarterback, you want to pair him up with a stud receiver. Get him a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would like to see the Raiders potentially do that at some point in this draft if you're going all in on Mendoza. But I get it from that standpoint. If you are trying to set him up the best way to succeed possible, you've already got Genty there with him, and you've got Brock Bowers. So, like, you've got some weapons for him. So, yeah, like, beef up on the offensive line. Give him some of that protection, because I know Joe Burrow is a different animal, but that's been his biggest thing since he got into the league, is the Bengals not really being able to protect him.
Yes, and by the way, yeah, the Raiders receivers, Jack Beck.
I just feel like if you're beefing up everyone, there were other quarterbacks you could have gotten for this role a lot cheaper.
I think though, if you look at Kirk Cousins and you look at Fernando Mendoza, they are basically the same person.
And before you say
like
that,
they could really connect and have a great relationship.
Before you say that about Cousins, though, keep in mind again, the Raiders are paying him the $1.3 million and a $10 million signing roster bonus. They're paying him $11.3. That's not that. It's not $20 million. I know it's $20 million guaranteed, but that's because the Falcons are paying 8.7 of it. So the Raiders are only paying 11.3, and whatever the number is to be for Mendoza, maybe it's 15, 20 million, whatever his first year. I don't know what the number is. It won't be that much, but whatever the number is, though, it's for your top two quarterbacks. That's not terrible.
Well, and what is Kirk Cousins trying to accomplish at this point in his career? Is he still trying to win a Super Bowl? Because, like, I think to your point, Nate, like,
if you're going to the Raiders, no, you're not.
Yes, I know. And so, like, is that a point to the other quarterbacks that are available, that they don't want to go to the Raiders because they know what kind of a mess it is, and they have different standards for themselves of wanting to still be successful and win a championship, win a Super Bowl? Kirk Cousins, at this point of his career, is he just kind of okay being the backup and making a lot of money and just continuing to have generational wealth? Because whatever he's done, he's got a master's degree in business, that's for sure.
Yes, it's brilliant what he's done. And I think, yes, I think he wants to still be I still think he wants to pursue a playoff and maybe a Super Bowl berth. But I don't think this was his best opportunity to start right now, unless he held out for the Steelers job. No one else is going to make him a starter.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Minnesota, they already cast their die. I cast their die twice in one day, man. That's an old phrase, and I've used it twice now. I don't think I've ever said it on the radio before that. Anyway, but look, it's a great weekend to use cast for lots, right? We can talk about that off the air as well. But anyway, though, so they are doing that. It's his best. Minnesota already made their choice. Atlanta made their choice. There wasn't a lot of great opportunities out there for him, unless he wants to go be a backup. So he's going to be a starter for Las Vegas from day one. We'll see if it sticks or not. By the way, this is huge. In the chat, thanks for taking care of Jacob today, Tito. Great opportunity for him. And sorry, Ya Highness, Jacob has always been good at spending other people's money.
Whoa.
That's from the Todd Father.
Todd Father, what is that?
That's huge.
That is crazy.
I love that. That's how young Jacob is, because I think most of the people on the fan, their fathers are either, one, dead, or, I'm just saying, or not old enough to know how to get on the chat and make comments.
Or too old.
Or just too old. Yes, right. Like my dad, there's no way. My dad reads the chat. He doesn't respond to the chat. I don't think he has any kind of account where he can just read it.
My dad would never find the chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think
he's on his iPad, and it's much easier. I'm not giving him this much credit because it's much easier to access the chat on his iPad.
My dad's the guy who would probably be right now commenting on like a T-Bone and Tyvis chat from a week and a half ago if he was able to do it. But yeah, so it's great that the Todd Father gets in this. I love the name Todd Father, by the way. That's outstanding. It's good he's here. Thank you, Todd Father, for being here. And yeah, I know Jacob is. I don't know how nervous Your Highness is right now. But anyway, coming up next, and this was a mega tease from earlier because 10 TV's Jacob Reimer did it. We'll get his predictions on the games today. Tell you about anything else we missed, which is very possible. We'll do all that next. Wrap things up. Fan Sports Saturday on the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
A couple of record-setting performances on this date in Reds history, one hallowed and one we should put in the dustbin. The low point came on April 4th, 1984, when only 3,921 showed up at Riverfront, the lowest attendance ever at the the old stadium. The high point, 10 years earlier on April 4th, 1974, opening day, Reds versus Atlanta. Everyone waiting to see if Hank Aaron could tie Babe Ruth's historic home run record. And Aaron did just that, hitting number 714 in his first at-bat. And providing the play-by-play up in the broadcast booth, a rookie announcer calling his first Major League game, none other than Marty Brennaman on his debut date, this April 4th, this date in Reds baseball.
This date in Reds baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Common Man here for Weed Man. I talk to you about Weed Man every year. Why? Simple. Number 1, I use it. Number 2, it works. You want to get those lawn roots thick, baby, because when that happens, they resist weeds, disease, and insects, and they're using top-of-the-line stuff. We're talking golf course quality. Weed Man is locally owned and operated by Corbin and Audrey. They will take care of you. Proudly serving Central Ohio and our Dayton friends. Call your local office, 614-733-3747, weedman.com.
Our yoga instructor challenged us to find inner peace. I found it faster than anyone. After 4 seconds, I stood up and screamed, "I found Nirvana! I win!" They asked me to leave. I guess they don't respect winning. Bet365 does, though. New customers get $365 in bonus bets just for betting $10. Namaste, losers. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Coffee, iced cap, refreshers. Tim Hortons has all your favorite beverages. And now you can get your favorite bite for less. When you buy any size beverage, add a baked daily donut for $1, a tasty bagel for $2, or a freshly cracked hot breakfast sandwich for just $3. So next time you order your favorite Tim's beverage, add something that satisfies your cravings and your wallet. The $1, $2, $3 menu. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants. Must ask for offer in restaurant. Tax extra exclusions and terms apply.
I'm Roger from Columbus. I've lived in Ohio all my life. Owning your home is a cornerstone of the American dream. But for seniors, property taxes keep going up and are costing us everything we've worked for. They're even making it impossible for my grandkids to afford their first homes. Vivek Ramaswamy believes when you own your home, you're in charge. As governor, he'll roll back property taxes to levels from before the end of the pandemic. It's a practical plan that will put thousands of dollars back in your pocket next year while maintaining strong education and dependable police and fire. Ohio's politicians have ignored this crisis for too long. But Vivek Ramaswamy isn't a politician. He's an entrepreneur, and he's ready to fight for you. Ohio needs a leader who makes your life more affordable. That's Vivek Ramaswamy.
Lower costs, bigger paychecks, better schools. Vivek Ramaswamy for governor.
Paid for by Vivek Ramaswamy and Rob McCauley for Ohio.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by KDHVAC, doing whatever it takes to keep your home comfortable. The Fan. During weekend programming, pants are optional.
Look at my butt!
However, leather chairs may have been a bad choice. You're listening to Fan Sports Saturday.
Nate, when I asked you what was up next, my mic was off for the listeners, right? Because I made it kind of a weird count of what was coming up next. My mic could not be heard. Oh, yes. Well, no, what it was judgmental, what I said. By the way, that voice over there, Nate Pounderbaugh, joining us here. He's the in charge of the updates and producing for us. Thank you for your time today, Nate, with a K. Knate. Also, Jacob Reimer here, who's I now have, there's more in the process of what I'm hearing. Signing up so far, go to the website, wewinwin.com, membership tab, select monthly, use code Jacob971, $5. Or email him, Chad, wewinwin.com is where you can get him there.
Chad, I apologize in advance if I make you go bankrupt.
No, don't apologize. But, listen, he's got...
But, I mean, you did ask me my favorite number.
He did.
And
you're right.
5 is my favorite number. So
they always say, don't ask a question you don't already know the answer to.
I would say, I would have said, what's your favorite number between 20 and 50? Something like that, you know? That'd have been a little better there. Not between 0 and 5.
So that probably would have been 32.
See, 30, that right there. Now we're talking. Anyway, but thank you to Ya Highness for joining us here earlier. Also, John Gerber, our golf betting expert at Gerber PGA Pro. Follow him. Again, Chad at wewinwin.com is where you can get that. Lots going on today. Jackets hosts the Winnipeg tonight at 7 o'clock. By the way, M. Leaper, hope you're feeling better. I'm not going to read what you said in the chat. But I hope you're feeling better, and I hope your electronic device is charged for when you need it throughout the day today. Illinois, UConn tonight at 6:09, followed by Michigan, Arizona 8:49. We'll get the selections for Reimer here momentarily. Defenders beat the Aviators last night 44-26. Cavs off, hosts the Pacers Sunday at 6. Reds over the Rangers 5-3. They play 7:05 tonight in Texas. Guards over the Cubs 4-1. They play again tonight at 7:15 in Cleveland. You mentioned you've got a couple of futures out there. The only thing that would kill you, and people don't know this, I don't want to say it out loud, but Reimer's got $14,000 on each game. And you got good odds on him, so he'll be buying breakfast next time we do a Fan Sports Saturday if it hits, as long as it's not Illinois. We used to do something, Reimer, when I was at the Dispatch, where every year, I think they still do it, but I'm no longer part of that fraternity, but they would auction off all 64 teams at the time.
Okay.
Like it would just start bidding. Number 16 seed in this region, go to 1. You could bid whatever you want on them.
Yeah.
As high as you want to go, you can go.
Maybe an auction.
Maybe an auction for the whole thing. And there were times when it was like a Duke would go for like $900 in the auction.
Do you see that stat right there on ESPN? Yeah. UConn is 17-1 against the spread in the NCAA tournament since 2023.
Oh. Take that, Your Highness.
Yeah.
Now you know why it's $5. Just kidding.
I just thought that was a crazy stat. Just like Dan Hurley is 10-0 in games after the Sweet 16.
Right, yeah. It's amazing.
If he makes the Sweet 16, he's winning.
Yeah. We'll see something change. But in the auction, though, you would then get wins for every time your team won, you would get a little bit of money back.
Okay.
Like you might get $35 if your team wins a first round game. Now, you put $900 on Duke, and the way it worked with numbers that high is your team would have to get, in some cases, like $900, your team would have to get to the final game for you to make any money, or you're going to lose money.
Christmas.
And so it used to be crazy with some of the money thrown out there on teams. And what you talk about, you got 3 futures bets. You would see guys, although it was against the rules, we still did it. But like somebody who had Duke might share part of their Duke money. Like they'll say, okay, I'll give you a third of my Duke shares if you give me a third of Michigan or something like that. You would see guys do that. So there was a couple years I had stakes in both teams in the championship, which was always great. But what was great about the early years of the auction is Tim May would be there. And Tim May would up the bidding by a quarter sometimes. Like someone say, $10 on $10 on Purdue. And I'll go 10 and a quarter. 10.50. And they would do, then they finally had to outlaw that after a while. But it was the best thing in the world. Yeah. Tim May would be there, and I think Porty would be there as well. They're in Portsline. We go out there and do that. But anyway, you've got your money there, and now you need to tell us what it is your predictions are. Here is Jacob Reimer, 10 TV, and also former employee of WeWinUwin.com until just about an hour and a half ago. But what are your picks for today's games, Jacob Reimer?
I think I'm going to side with Ya Highness on Illinois because I think it's going to come down to being an offensive game. And that's leans heavily then towards Illinois. They're the number one offense in college basketball. UConn is just so disciplined, and I hate going against Dan Hurley at this time of year.
Okay.
I would hate to be against that. But Illinois has been a analytical gem all season long. Their offense has been phenomenal. They've been defending at a high level in the NCAA tournament. Right. They've only allowed 70 just once, and that was in their first round game. They haven't allowed more than 60 in their last 3 games leading up to the Final Four, and that's against better opponents, better quality of opponents. So I think I'm going to go with Illinois. That size is going to be a factor. It's going to come down to offense. Give me the best offense in college basketball.
Illinois. Okay, then who are they going to play on Monday?
I have been on Arizona all season and all tournament long. They were my pick to win the national championship, so I'm not going to go against them now. I have made it very clear on these airwaves that you need good guards to win in March. That's why I felt like when Ohio State came into this, if Bruce Thornton and John Mobley Jr. just got a taste of it, they would be able to deliver. And, I mean, they had a good game. They had against TCU. But Arizona has had maybe the most clutch guard of this entire college basketball season. Like I mentioned earlier, with them to start the year against Florida, if you watch the Big 12 semifinals against Iowa State, which was one of the best games of the entire year, Jaden Bradley hits a ridiculous falling away shot in the corner at the buzzer to win. He has stepped up in every big moment that Arizona has had. And at the end of the day, like, it comes down to that. I think they're the more physical team. They are the stronger team. It's still a lot. Like, there's also the factor where Yaxel Lindeborg could just take over the game for Michigan. That's a legit factor. But I'm going to go with the better backcourt, and I'm going to take Arizona in the clash of the Titans.
I think that, whenever you're looking for marital advice, go to a guy who's already failed one marriage. Or if you want financial advice, go ask Bernie Madoff. He can help you out with that as well. So I'm going to give you unsolicited marital advice for this weekend, or for Monday. Monday, you said you might not be able to join us because 2 reasons. One, you have to work. That's fine. You got Buckeye Roundtable.
Yep.
And then you said it's your wife's birthday.
Yeah. Shout out to her. We're doing some celebration this weekend. And then
that's right.
And on Monday, it's her birthday.
Okay. You don't need to celebrate it Monday. And here's what you get away with here on Reimer. Is she listening?
I don't know.
Great. That's fine. The Todd follower's listening. No, she's not listening. Listen, this is what you do. You have to sell it to her like, look, you deserve more than just Monday. Monday's not fair. Monday is a blue day for most of the world. So I want to celebrate you this weekend and next weekend. Besides Monday, I've got to go to this work function at Parlay Sporting Club and Kitchen. And I need to do this. I keep saying it differently, but it's at Parlay Sports. It's over there on North High Street. Ya Highness and I will be there. And go check that out. It's 570 North High Street. 7-Eleven's what the official time is. We'll be there. But you have to sell it that way and say, honey, I want to do stuff special for you. I've got to do things like this so I can grow my brand. Someday I will be Jacob F. Reimer, and I'm not going to say what the F's going to say, but you're going to be Jacob F. Reimer someday. You're not there yet, but you're going to get there, and she will never have to work another day in her life. She can just live off of you.
Okay.
So that's all you've got to do is sell it to her that way. And then she will like, honey, I want you to go Monday. You need to go. And then you say, no, you know what, your birthday, and make her convince you. Make it be her idea that it's such a good idea for you to go.
I mean, I'm going to be watching the game anyways.
You may as well go. You're not going to pay attention to her. Come on.
But there's also the fact that I have a 6-month-old that I need to help out with because I'm at work all day.
Okay, technically, she had the 6-month-old, not you. I'm saying, like, be real. Again, a guy divorced once already. I'm just saying, that's the way I present it too. Hey, look, I don't recall me getting an epidural. I was just fine other than the hand squeeze thing. I believe that was your child. You made the decisions to get into that situation. Yeah. That was a decision she made, a business decision, which was smart because now she's got Jacob F. Reimer locked in. Folks, thank you for tuning in. I know it was goofy. We appreciate it. Thank you to Your Highness. Thank you to John Gerber. Thank you to Nate Pungerball. And also thank you to you, Jacob. We're back next week.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes.